You're listening to M.T.V.B podcast. Movies, TV, video and board games. This show may contain swearing.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the M.T.V.B podcast. This is the podcast that talks about my four favourite subjects, and that's movies, TV shows, video games and board games. I'm your host Anthony, as well as most people know me as the Ant-Man, and welcome. This episode we're going to go far beyond the reaches of our world and talk about those movies that are, that people don't like to watch because of those annoying little subtitles, and that's world cinema movies. I'm joined by a bunch of guys that love to talk about world cinema movies. Guys, introduce yourselves around the table, please.
Hi guys, it's Gal, aka Grey Fox, in the building.
Hey, it's Goku. Glad to be back.
Nice, guys. Yes. Welcome back. Thank you for coming on the episode today.
Oh, thank you for having us again.
Anytime.
And we got those top fives ready.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
it's going to be a good episode.
See, I think mine was a bit of an easy list, but
yeah,
and last minute rearranges. Who knows? We'll see how it goes.
Definitely, a lot of things been shifted around. It's a good thing.
It's been a while though. Yeah, it's been a good month. I've been here since.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done a recording. People gone back to normal and been busy, whatnot. Damn you guys. We're 3/4 of the way of the season. Please let us finish it. Anyway, guys, welcome back. So let's do the normal thing, and we do our questions as we normally do.
Oh, missed the questions.
So the questions are okay.
It's like me and Gar in the car thinking, what could these questions be?
Now, this might be a silly question because you're on the World Cinema episode, but Do you guys like World Cinema, and have you always been into World Cinema?
Yeah.
I've reckoned from young age, I have. Yeah. Like, the influence of, Bruce Lee films.
Yeah, sure. Like Enter the Dragon and stuff like that.
Because my dad was heavy into those kind of films.
Yeah.
So those, I'll say, was my first early introductory to, like, world cinemas.
Yeah, like definitely.
Enter the Dragon and
Bruce Lee,
Big Boss and all that.
Yeah. Same here. I think it was the Kung Fu stuff, wasn't it? Like, yeah, you're right. Like from what your dad, or even just like your friend would bring on VHS and be like, watch this.
In general, I'm surrounded because, my...
yeah, man, have you seen this guy? He's got a black belt and he's from China.
Because I watch a lot of Tamil films as well, like South Indian films.
Right,
so
exactly.
That's, I'm always into that all the time.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't get into it till very late in my life, but
that's racist.
Yeah.
How's it racist? But I tell you what, though, and I keep mentioning this, you guys still don't believe me. She said, my mum used to love Bollywood films.
No
Channel
way.
4 used to play Bollywood films on a Sunday afternoon or something, whatnot, or whatever it was. And my mum used to really enjoy watching them.
So she's watched Doom 3, yeah?
So she was like the kind of, that's how I kind of got into it. But like I said, there was a specific film which is in my top 5, which I didn't get to see till like my early 20s, which that was the film that that's why I'm going to start watching world cinema films now. So I kind of wish I got into it sooner, but everyone's a bit ignorant when it comes to subtitles, isn't it, at one point?
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, apart from you guys. but I forgot to the question before that was, can we describe to people what world cinema is? What is a world cinema movie?
Yeah, okay. So I'd say world cinema, so it's something, okay, this is a bit of a, maybe, I don't know if it's a controversial answer, but it's something that's outside of Hollywood, in my opinion. Because it's something that Hollywood gets played. Like when you think of cinema, the first thing that people think of around the world is Hollywood and stuff. So yeah, for me, it's maybe things that are outside the realm of Hollywood. That's done not by Paramount Pictures or TriStar or whoever. It's actually done by mainly like independent companies from around the world.
From
right?
around the world, yeah, other
Yeah.
countries and stuff, yeah.
Exactly. So, sometimes you watch these movies and in the beginning of it, they have the little things where they say, funded by the Canadian government. I'll say not Canadian. That's a bad example, but the Australian government or whatever. And, you can tell that they don't have much money, bless them, but they've asked the government, listen, can you just give us a bit of funding into the arts and we can make something? And some of these movies are just like real gems, and you think.
Some of them are really good,
Yeah.
But,
Apart from the actual aspect that they are from other countries and, people like have seen them through family or friends have recommended them and whatnot, and then you kind of follow it from there, don't you really? Like French films, Japanese films.
That's right.
Sorry, Gal, you were saying sorry.
I was going to say, so would that mean British films is world cinemas then?
Yeah.
Yeah, technically.
God damn it.
Because it's not like British cinema doesn't really have that kind of Hollywood kind
Who's
of.
being racist now?
I thought British films and Hollywood.
No, just because we live in that country. But then again, it's like if you lived in Korea, would you consider Korean cinema?
Exactly.
It is the case, yes, because like Goko said, it's out of Hollywood, isn't it?
Yeah, that's interesting. See, because you could be in that country, but then that wouldn't be classed because it's your own country.
Yeah.
So maybe Hollywood would be world cinema.
It just goes to show other countries can do what Hollywood can.
Yeah, exactly.
Better.
That's
in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah. For sure. I think especially in the last few years,
Yeah,
you guys have been recommending these movies and,
last couple of
lot.
years, my eyes been open so much.
100%.
So especially into before it was Japanese and probably Chinese.
Yeah.
Now it's like Korean stuff. Even the Spanish is like bringing some out, like good stuff out,
like good dramas and stuff. Yeah,
Money Heist. I think there's a couple of films that's like Paramedic, and I think there's another one I watched is really good.
Oh yeah. And
a couple of French films. And French films are pretty good as well.
Oh, definitely. Like with French movie, it's a weird one. I don't know.
And German. Sorry, some Germans
well,
are really good films as well.
It's like with the French movies, like I don't know if there's another question, Anne, but like with French movies, it's very artistic. It's very art house kind of. You watch it, none of it would make sense to you, but that's because a lot of these movies they go to like film festivals, like festivals you haven't even heard about, not like Cannes or anything like that. Not even what's the other one in America that Sundance. Not even that. Like these smaller kind of festivals that they have in like Oslo or whatever. And sometimes these movies probably even end up in art galleries because they're not technically like classed as that kind of feature film, but it's a feature film, but it's like an artsy thing.
And that's the thing, like most audiences won't like it because it's too arty for me. I don't like it.
Right, exactly.
I love fucking retard audiences.
Exactly.
Can't stand them.
Broaden your mind.
I don't want to watch it because I don't want to read the film.
I go to film to watch a film, not read.
Exactly.
Oh, dickheads. Actually, dickheads. I've kind of answered this question because it's in my top 5 I mentioned earlier, but was there a particular movie, if it doesn't spoil your top 5, that made you think, yeah, I'm going to start watching world cinema movies?
Yeah. Without spoiling it,
if it's in top 5, don't say, just say, it's in my top 5. We'll obviously talk about it later.
Thing is, like, I watched films and I never actually thought of it as, it's from so and so. It's I never think of it like. But now when you think about it, but there was times when I thought, oh my god, this is brilliant, and this is not from where I normally go to see. It's not from Hollywood or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
So and it's in my top 5, so I won't be able to speak about it. But there's occasions where I've watched it and I've gone back and realized, wow, this is actually magnificent. This is amazing.
Sure.
At the time when I watched it, I don't realize how brilliant of a film is. When certain times when you go back and you realize, wow, this is a gem of a film.
Yeah,
but
man, people missing out.
They are. There's like I've said it so many times. Sometimes just because it's a subtitle film, you're just missing out. Like there's so many countless films that's just like missing out. Like sometimes it's even better. One of one of the best films, like blockbuster films, it'll smash that to pieces. It's people just have the patience to just read the subtitles and just go and watch these films. They're a cracking time watching it.
It's like if you've read a book, you can read the subtitles. It's not
right.
Hard,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I
mean,
like
thing is, the one thing I can't do is I love watching films and eating at the same time. With subtitles, I can understand because you can't eat and read at the same time and watch.
Right.
So I get that, right? But you eat first and watch your subtitles.
Yeah, don't watch your dinner. Don't watch your dinner. Don't eat your dinner whilst watching subtitle movie. Obviously, yeah.
Exactly.
If you've got snacks and stuff, of course you can.
Yeah, standards. Yeah.
But
Of course.
So what's the movie?
No,
So what's the movie that got you into?
I don't want to say.
I love how you sway against the subject.
No,
every time.
it's in my top 5 or so.
Right.
Oh, it's
Okay.
top five.
Is it the same with you?
Me, the first one, you guys are gonna love this, was Old Boy. That was the
Okay,
first
yeah,
one
yeah.
that I watched, and I was like, "Oh, this is amazing!" You know, in my head, like I was thinking, "Where is this movie from?" And it was like, "It's a Korean movie." And I was like, "I didn't know they did movies, right?" I knew like the Chinese and Japanese were spearheading that. I didn't know like Korea even had a film industry, and I saw that, and I was like, "What the fuck?" There's no censorship in this industry,
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
And it's cracking, like. Old Boy, come on, guys! You know better than me. The
Fantastic
audiences
movie.
know as well. They
So
must have watched
twisted.
it.
They should
Yeah.
know by now.
Exactly.
Not the piece of shit
Yeah.
Spike Lee
Oh my
American
God.
remake.
Come on.
Jesus. I didn't even bother watching it.
Why? Same.
Have you watched it?
No,
or
I've never seen it. I refuse to watch it. Yeah.
So this might be a bit of a. I mean, you kind of answered it in a way, Big Al, but I'll still ask anyway. What is it about the world cinema movies that you really enjoy of it? What is it you keeps making you watch them more?
I really think they have the freedom to do what they want. Like some of the films I've watched, and like it's just like I don't think a big budget or a producer's, a company that's producing it will allow them to do it. Whereas these world cinema movies, I think they just have some license to do what they want.
Sure.
And it just brings out the film even more. Like some like just I don't know, some of the violence in it is unreal.
Yeah.
Some of the dark humor, it's so like sometimes sometimes the serious scene happen, and this is what I love about Korean films mainly. It's a dark, the serious scene, and still manages to make you laugh. Like you're like
It's dark humor.
it's
right?
just like what the hell? Like what? Why? Yeah, like I find it fascinating.
Yeah,
Those,
Syrian,
so especially in Korean films, like it could be the most like someone's died, someone's mum died, for example, and he's bawling his eyes out or something. The way
Is that from the host? Yeah.
and the
They thought they lost their daughter.
yeah, and they're fighting in the middle of it.
They cried and fight at the same time.
and
Yeah,
it's
that's
so
really
funny.
funny.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, sometimes I have to double question myself. Am I meant to laugh? Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
like-
love how it does that.
Yeah, so
yeah, that's really good. Yeah, it's interesting. You said that,
Yeah.
because you wouldn't see that on Hollywood, and that's what makes it distinguishable
definitely.
from everything else.
Whereas
Yeah,
if it were Hollywood to do that scene, I could see just make it more like serious and
Yeah.
more like cinematic, sort of.
Yeah.
About you, go. Cool.
Yeah.
What is it about world
It's-
cinemas that you like?
Such a good question. It's so much. It's like you say, it's that signature. Like certain like countries give a signature to that movie. So, for example, with the French one, it's always about the art style. They have to use specific
Sure,
filters and
yeah.
cameras and stuff. When it comes to Korean movies, again, it's like just the dark humor and just that kind of something about it that kind of adds to the suspense and thriller of those kind of movies. Again, from like Indian movies, the kind of the familyness and togetherness, and that kind of making you want to cry because it's so emotional.
Indian films are
somehow,
the next
you
level
know?
because they have to hit all these five sort of. They have to have sentiment. They have to have
Right.
songs in it. They have to
Yeah.
fight scene.
See, I never realized that. You know how I found out about that? So I don't really watch Bollywood movies at all. Like I've seen a few like Tamil movies as well, like growing up and stuff. But when I went to Morocco, I remember like I was walking to one of the markets and the guy's like, "Oh my God," because he genuinely thought I was from India, and he was like, "Oh, we love Indian movies here. Like they show it like on the Channel 4 thing. They show it here every night, and it's got the highest ratings." And I was like, "What is it about it? Like, I didn't know that you
it's
guys watch it. Like, what is it? Exactly.
It's all just singing. Like,
Exactly. It's a musical.
offense, Bollywood.
Exactly. It's a long ass musical, 3.5 hours. Like, sometimes it has an interval in the middle. And he said it's something about that we can relate to it. Like, about what we've been through in family and culture and stuff like that. And that's interesting is certain people, like you'd probably talk to someone, they're like, yeah, we like the new Scandinavian scene. Like all these like, like movies that are coming out of Scandinavia right now. Like all these like independent movies, again, like thriller and just crazy. It's just, there's a certain signature to it and something that Hollywood can never do.
Yeah.
'Cause
100%.
exactly in Hollywood sometimes they love to throw in, especially with their action movies, that kind of Americana, there's always something in it, like to kind of show.
Going
Right?
back to that Indian Indian subject. It's
Yeah.
you know why they do all that songs and all that.
Yeah.
They have to hit this 5 sort of criteria. So imagine in a family, you got mum and dad,
Right.
maybe the elders, and then you got the children, and then you got maybe the mid teenagers or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the sentiments for like the mum and dad or the elderly.
Yeah.
The songs are for like kids, and they have the erotic songs as well. That's for the teenagers. No, seriously.
Seriously?
So they have to have this sort of
Criteria.
all the like the main blockbuster films is like
Yeah.
that. So they have to keep all those audience. That's their audience, and those are the audience they target, and
It's like a
they try to
criteria.
hit criteria to hit in a one film sort of thing.
See, that's interesting. And if you see like people watching American movies, probably the same thing. They say like we have to have maybe in an action movie, like there has to be so-and-so
everything has to happen
explosions.
in a certain amount of scenes. Like you have to keep the audience
Exactly.
going.
Engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Page has to have like an action scene or something. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
It's interesting.
I think for me,
Yeah.
the reason I keep going back to them is their stories. I think their stories are done much better than Hollywood is. From something simple like, I'm sorry if it's in your top 5s, but Memories of Murder, a Korean film I really, really love. How that movie is just simply about trying to catch a serial killer and how it's portrayed and how it's done and how it leaves you on the edge until the very end of the film as well. Again, if you've never seen it, watch it. Brilliant. Bong Joon-ho film.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just...
Serious.
How did they do that? And other movies as well. I mean, you've got like you mentioned French films. Some of them aren't just all about like there's the action films like Taxi and whatnot.
Yeah,
how they do them. It's just
insane.
It's a simple movie about a taxi and guns and whatnot. But the story is brilliant. It's like how do you do it?
Yeah.
And I just think that's what lacks with Hollywood now.
Yeah.
Is just they have the the actors and whatnot, but just how they bring the story to life is just not done as well as world cinema, in my opinion, has ever done.
Yes.
Like you mentioned Parasite in an episode before. I mean, how simple is that?
Yeah.
And then the dark humor you mentioned in that as well. One specific scene in that is just like you say. It's how do you do that? But it makes you do it, and I just Hollywood lacks that very much at the moment. I mean, I think unfortunately they're focusing on like franchises more than actual movies, single movie storylines and whatnot.
Yeah, and they're just worried about
100%.
you need to tick this box. That's what they're worried.
Exactly.
Do you also think the fact that say we're Bollywood and Hollywood, where we used to those sort of environments,
right.
Like, but we're not used to Japanese environment, Korean environment, and when we see something like that, it looks new, and then maybe that's part of the reason why we like it as well, because it's different.
Because it's different.
Yeah, I think that's why Squid Games is such a big thing at the moment as well. It's because let's face it, it's probably the first Korean TV show that's hit everyone, and let's face it, Korea's been doing it for years.
Yeah, exactly.
So hopefully this has opened the world to other people. That they do other stuff,
And I'm part of me, I'm glad, like it's something like this, Korean thing has taken off so well.
100%.
But part of me is like, get out of here, losers, man. I'll be watching Korean.
Exactly, right? Exactly.
Yeah. Get out of here.
you guys
People
would say
talking
that,
to me about Squid Game. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
But no, it's not just that. It's the French shows we watch and all the other ones as well.
Yeah.
It's just like we watched Chestnut Man recently. That's from Denmark. I mean, that's a brilliant
see
show
so
as well.
Right, exactly.
So good.
Yeah.
I think as individuals, we are open to watch like anything. So
Exactly.
I think if you as a viewer are like if you're open to watch anything, like any sort of language, if you don't have any language barrier or anything like that, was reading subtitles, you're gonna have a blast, man. This
Definitely.
So you can
Just
be part
give
of
it a
us.
go.
You can beat us.
Yeah.
One of us. So let's go to the question that's going to aggravate you both.
Yeah,
Okay.
How do you feel when they attempt to remake a world cinema movie because of audiences don't like to read subtitles?
Oh my god.
Right.
Right.
How many has there been? Has there been?
There's been
I think there's been a few. Yeah.
The only one I can remember is Old Boy. Like,
there's some more recently.
Old Boy,
Yeah.
Let the Right One In,
Right.
Guilty.
The Guilty,
Guilty.
Yeah.
You know what? That's okay.
Okay, maybe they did that one
Guilty's
good.
okay.
Yeah, have you seen it, Anne? Have you seen the new Jake Gyllenhaal
refuse to.
Guilty?
No,
Yeah.
no.
Refuse to.
I don't blame you, because seriously, at that point, we were thinking, I don't want to watch this.
Dark Water is another one.
No way, was that?
Was it
It
really?
was remade with Jennifer Connelly's in it.
Ah.
It's on Disney Plus if you want to watch it.
That's
The Ring got remade.
Yes.
Oh,
The
yeah,
Grudge.
okay.
Yes.
So there is a fair few that have been remade.
Okay,
Yeah. So it's interesting. If we didn't know that was a remake and went into watching it, for example, The Ring, I didn't know for years that was, like from a Japanese, that was a remake of Japanese. And I thought The Ring was wicked. I was like, wow, this is so good. They did it.
Out of all of them, I think that's my only favourite one that got remade.
Yeah.
In all fairness, I haven't watched a couple of them.
Okay.
Because some of them are like my all-time favourites that I can't justify watching the remake.
Yeah, you wouldn't do that. I don't blame you. Yeah.
But definitely, but The Ring was... The thing with The Ring is that when it came out and then was actually popularised, we were like 5 years behind it at the time. So it was still scary, but the effects were very dated. It's like the original Grudge, Jong-un, is just...
Yeah.
If you watch it now, it's terrible. It's like I don't mean terrible as in the movie's terrible. I mean as in the effects are very like it's like someone shot this in their backyard sort of style sort of film.
Yeah.
So when they remade it, I mean, I'm still terrified of fucking opening to Grudge, but as the Ring itself, I think The Ring was a damn good remake. But again, they just never. I don't think they knocked it out of the park after that. Since what do you guys?
Yeah, I agree. I can't think of anything that's come out that's better than the original. From whatever
I think
country it is.
The only recent one I got to say is Guilty, which I think is Jake Gyllenhaal had done a wicked job.
Yeah, and it was slightly different from the original, wasn't it? And it's still good. Was quite different. They had like a different take on it, because if you think so, The Guilty, viewers don't know, a movie about being in a response center, right? So when you call 999 or whatever, it's taking place there, and it's primarily all done in that room.
Yeah,
right? So that's what it is.
Well, but the remake did kind of go just a little bit.
Yeah,
but apart from that couple of bits, it was
it kind of went out.
Yeah,
right. But that's the thing though, because the original was based on the European version of that, right? Yeah. So this is how was it Danish? Was it Danish?
Danish, yeah.
German.
It's German, right? So this is how the responders in German would do it. But this is in LA. So you can imagine LA with the LA police and, whatever. So their kind of take on it is slightly different. Maybe it's a bit more, so it's different in that sense, but still it's good that they didn't carbon copy it.
Yeah.
They kind of...
There was slight, subtle changes, but apart from that, it was basically the same.
Yeah,
but
that's an example.
Sure.
Before watching that film, my thought process was fuck remakes. Especially like no, you're gonna ruin it because of Old Boy. I haven't even seen the remake, so I was. Right. But after, because remember when we were watching it, Guilty, I was like, no, I don't want to watch it. It's gonna be. And then after watching, I was like, you know what, his acting won me over. So if it's done properly, then it's fine. But if not, don't even touch my favorite shows of all films.
Yeah.
Keep away.
There must be quite a few.
Keep away. This house is mine. It's mine. So
just a minute.
Let's come to the next question. Is what is your favorite genre in world cinema?
Great question.
I never thought of that. It's a really good question.
For me, I think I know.
I'll kind of go first, but mine's different with countries.
Oh, okay.
So I do love world cinema horror.
Yeah.
Okay.
When we had the early phase of like The Ring, Grudge, Dark Water, and what was the other one? That's going to bug me now.
You said The Grudge, right? Yeah.
You said The Ring.
I can't remember. It'll come back to me. And then we've obviously got the Korean side, which I love their revenge movies.
Yeah.
Korean
revenge
and comedy.
Of course.
Well, they do comedy as well, French films, again, they are both between, the artistic dramas as well as their action are really good as well.
Yeah.
Hong Kong, Chinese films, let's face it, they are damn good at action movies.
Yeah, let's
face it. And Donnie Yen, he's from there, so you got all the Ip Mans are great movies as well.
Exactly.
They're from there as well.
Yep.
What about you guys?
Go on,
Gal.
I would say Japanese for horror.
Okay.
Korean for comedy and everything.
Like a mix of things.
Everything. I think they can do no wrong.
Right.
Bollywood for love stories, maybe.
Okay. More of a personal connection.
Yeah.
For that.
Love story and
just emotion.
Yeah, emotion.
Right?
Yeah. Chinese for action. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of
100%.
Yeah.
I'll say Spanish for thrillers, maybe.
They've got some good Spanish thrillers.
Oh, that was it. Spanish movie. Spanish are good for horrors.
Yeah.
Like your Rex. Records.
Oh, yes.
The Orphanage as well was a good one.
Yeah.
What's the other one they did as well? They did another really good one as well. French do good horror films. You ever see The Inside?
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, if you love gory films, that movie is just it's so over the top with their gore. Okay. But it's shot really well. Like, I think it's called The Inside, or it's just called Inside. I can't remember. It's one of the two. But yeah. Some dang good choices there, guys.
Yeah.
Go on.
For me, I'd probably just drama in general, like all of it.
Just all around,
drama, like something about watching other dramas from other movies because it's kind of they have their take on it. So it could be whatever their country's going through, or their politics, or their situations, and somehow they build a story around it. So it's not a direct thing, but it's kind of based on that.
Yeah,
so for me, it's like dramas.
I do love. I do like to see true story movies from other sides of the countries.
Yeah, sure.
Because again, it's an eye opener too. Because I think again go back to Korean cinema again.
Yeah,
there was a film called Taxi Driver,
right,
and that was to do with the effects of South Korea in the mid '80s. Was like those towns being under attack by those North Korean armies and all that sort of stuff. It's like I never knew this even happened back then. So again, it was quite an eye opener to it. Or Norwegian's movie Land of Mine. How they got those kids to do that, and that is brutal.
Yeah,
brutal.
I need to see that.
Just such an eye opener to know that stuff like this happened.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the depiction of it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's awesome.
So I don't think I have anything else unless you guys want to throw something in.
Yeah, I was going to say something about movies. Forgotten what it is.
I was going to say what country do you prefer, but let's face it, we all know what the answer is for that, so there's no point.
Yeah. Isn't that? Well, I think it's just, it's a shame that the audience is like, this is one thing I want to ask. Like, I'm so thankful of having a Netflix and an Amazon Prime subscription because that's opened it out to a lot of users now, isn't it? So in technically you're not essentially like before we'd go to a shop and buy a DVD and stuff like that, or you hear about it and you go look for it online. But now it's like you can't escape it. It's there. You hear of a movie. Like, for example, you guys would suggest something and I'd go and see if it's on Netflix, see if it's on Prime. And if it's not there, then I'd go and download it or something,
Piracy!
Yeah, but it's the fact that they have it, Netflix and Prime just helps just to open it all up. And you can discover things yourself, and you get it suggested to you and stuff. And it's a good
the only issue is those come with dubbing options as well. And I guarantee you people didn't even watch Squid Games and subtitles. I fucking guarantee it.
Yeah, that's another issue.
That is, that's...
Exactly, the dubbing.
I get it. Like, I do get it, but it's like every time, everyone, we've got a group of mates who are outside of work and outside of and stuff.
Sure.
I want to
get it out to them.
Get it through to look. You need to watch this.
Yeah.
You need to watch Spanish stuff. You need to watch Korean stuff.
Yeah.
Like, but at the end of the day, if they don't, they're not like me. So it's a shame. It's a shame. Even the listeners, they're, why is this guy always going on about Koreans? Some of them might, probably not bothered, but it's a shame that they might not even watch it, and they're missing out.
It's true. Would you guys encourage all our friends to watch the original? 100%. Forget the dubbing. Just
absolutely,
read the subtitles. Absolutely,
100%.
Yeah, that's the issue. Right?
I think who was watching it? Someone was watching Dark.
Oh, Biggie.
Yeah, season 1 in English, and it literally put my brother off from watching it. Like, I think for a while, he's like, "No, man, this is horrible."
Yeah, that was Biggie, right? And because bless him, he didn't like.
I mean, when season 1 came out, I was so hyped up for it, and I put it on, just played. Yeah. And it automatically went to the dubbing.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, I was seeing the trailer, this should be in a different language. And then why are they talking with Australian accents? This is odd. So, it was a bit,
Yeah.
So put it on the original. Let's have it.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen season 3, by the way.
Oh, really? Okay.
John's put me off completely. So I can't watch it.
Why, John?
John's such a...
What about you, Big Al? Have you got anything else you want to add at all? Or?
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You ready for the top 5s?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
It's time for a top 5. Number 5.
So who would like to go first?
Go for it, Gal.
Are you really?
Ladies first. Yeah.
Go on, you've had issues with your top 5, so you might as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. My number 5.
He's going to be a clash.
So, is this top 5 from just one country, or have you done it from multiple places?
I tried to do it from multiple places, but most of them are from, apart from probably 2. The rest are all Korean.
Right. So before you say what it is, say where country it's from first, and then we'll and we'll go to the title. So sorry, Miguel, go for it.
Yeah. So my one is initially South Indian film. I would class as Hollywood.
Okay.
Not
yeah.
Bollywood.
What is it?
They call it
Collywood.
Hollywood.
Collywood.
Yeah.
I've never explained what the Collywood is.
Oh, Gary, explain Collywood actually. Yeah, for our viewers as well.
It's basically
go
what
on.
I list. I watch a lot of his Tamil films. So so Bollywood is like the whole of India, like the normal Indian people, and then in each different states they have their own sort of woods.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know.
No, I didn't. You're looking at me like I'm joking. I was like, I honestly didn't know. I've never heard of Collywood.
Yeah.
So explain it.
It's true, but
They got Collywood,
there's
and
even
there's a
Lollywood,
Tollywood, there's a Lollywood, there's every, they've
But
just...
therefore-
So that's like
different
saying
states.
from Crawley, there's a Langley Green Wood,
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah,
Bubush Wood. Yeah, okay, got
Basically.
it.
different states.
Yeah.
Right.
So my one's from South Indian, which is Tamil prominent. It's called Hollywood.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's right.
You're right. Yeah.
He's got me double guessing.
Well
now,
done.
'cause he's
Dude, you're teaching me something today.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
okay, and it's
It's
a world.
interesting. Yeah,
It's a
very,
world
very,
exclusive, so it's going to be first time I'm going to mention.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
You're going
wow.
to teach me something. Let's hear it.
So
World
this film,
exclusive.
right? I watched it quite recent, and it's come out recent. So
Okay. It's an
World premiere.
World premiere, that's it.
did you put that on? And this was recommended me by Nash. Actually, I got.
What?
Yes.
kidding me?
He subtly like, recommends me films. Sometimes I watch, it's all right, and this one was like, whoa, this actually piqued my interest. It's because of this. It's a touchy subject as well.
Okay, right. Oh, okay.
And I like the way they dealt with it as well.
Sweet.
So this film, it came out this year, and it's in Tamil. It's called. He's gonna lie and it's gonna laugh. So it's called Dittam Rendu. So it's basically Plan B.
Plan B. Yeah.
Okay. So it starts out with you've the actor in it is one of my favorite actors, Aishwarya Rajesh. It's not Aishwarya Rai. It's just another new actor.
Okay.
Tamil actor
Coming up, is he?
coming up. She's pretty good.
Okay.
And she's like a police officer, and someone's gone. I think someone's gone missing, and she's for all that she's coming on a bus to town to start her job, sort of thing. She's already a police officer, and she's run into a person, and they get friendly and stuff. And somehow he gets his number, and you could see and at this point I'm thinking, it's going to be a love film or whatever.
Yeah.
And then obviously she starts her job and stuff, and then sort of immediately, I believe a woman is missing, and straight away it starts off like a murder mystery sort of thing.
Right.
And it gets going, and you're like, okay, is it him? Oh, he's the killer, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the relationship between the guy she met on the bus develops, and they start going out a little bit and stuff. And it goes inside and out with her flashback, couple of her old friends and stuff, and almost like the very climax scene, they find out what's happened to the woman that was missing or dead. Turns out that it's going to shock, but there's a lot more happens. But I'm just trying
Keep going.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's going to go rush out and watch it. So come on.
So obviously, it, just like any murder mystery, it leads on to being, is it the husband? He's done something to her, or is it the parents because she done something? A lot of things happen, like the parents kill their children, blah blah blah, stuff like that. Yeah. Or was it some random people hired to? So all these things happen, and at the end, she gets called to this place where the husband, the missing husband's, look, I've found some information. This is where it's happening. So come down here. And meanwhile, her friends, who are also not her friends, the woman's husband, the woman that was missing, her friends were involved as well. So they all meet, and they get to the place, and what happened is, the boy that she meets in the very beginning, he's there, and she's like, what are you doing here? All right, don't laugh though. But it happens to that she is the woman that was missing. So she's basically
she's the missing woman.
Yeah. So
That's interesting.
But he's not a he. She's become a he.
Oh, okay.
So it turns out that she doesn't actually die.
Yeah.
She hasn't died or anything.
Okay.
The husband, they played it along. So what happens is, throughout the whole film, they does it really well. Like, they do it really well. So they show her childhood, and so they show this friend. The missing. Sorry. The missing woman is her friend. Sorry.
Right.
I forgot to mention that. Sorry. Key information. So that's why they have flashbacks of her friends and whatever. And throughout the flashbacks, there's hints of it. Like, you can see, like, so when they first show her, when she touches her friend, she can see like she's excited, but you don't realize it. Like, little subtle things, or when she hugs her, she's like excited, or when someone else, a boy, touches her, something, she gets like jealous and stuff. You don't see it, but at the end bit, when they show it overall, and you're like, oh, that makes sense. So that boy has actually, so he's come out and told her husband,
right?
Look, because obviously he was trying to get with her, and he's like, "Don't touch me!" Like, she was making excuses, because he was trying to get laid, and he got married, didn't it? And then he's like, eventually she came out and said, "Look, this is how I feel." And luckily, he was actually a good guy. He's a doctor. Look, there's actually in the Western world, UK, America, and all that. There's people out there, you can change, you can change your body parts. You can actually become who you want. So he actually helps her out, becoming like this man, like changes her. And but I'm telling you why this is quite unique, because stuff like this is frowned upon in India. Like, the parents probably would have killed her.
As I say, they're against it, are they?
100% against it. So that's why I found this unique. So he helped her and made up this whole excuse that she's got kidnapped or she got killed. And the same process,
cover up.
Yeah, the same process. But she fell in love with her because he kind of not tricked her, because he met on the bars to exchange numbers. So she kind of the police officer fell for him as well. So she felt tricked and stuff. So after all that doo-ha, they go away, and then he messages me, "Look, I know what I've done is wrong, but I love you and stuff. Let me meet back in a month's time." And see where this goes, okay? And obviously, at the end, this is what I love about it. So they meet up, she's all dressed and stuff, and they both meet up, and it just ends like that. And I think the way they ended it, I think, is perfect, because it doesn't say she just rejected him, and it doesn't say she accepted it. So, and I really appreciate. I love that the ending.
Yeah,
and I think the way they dealt with the situation, like, transgender is a big issue, and like.
It's really
India.
big.
It's so
down
bad.
in India,
like,
right?
It's coming up slowly, but
but it's not as big as it is.
They get brutally beaten up and like frowned upon.
Oh, it's brutal. Yeah, it's
bad,
very
man.
bad.
They don't show.
How old is this film?
It's come out this year.
Okay, right.
Yeah, and I thought, you know what? I
was going to say, it's with the time at the moment, then to do.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And I was like, oh my God, this is brilliant. This is that, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not against it or anything. Like, I hate it when it's like shoved down your throat, or like, it's there for like,
of course, yeah.
This was like purposefully done, and I appreciate it. And you feel like people who don't understand the situation, if you watch this film, you understand what they're feeling, what they're going through, and it's an eye opener.
Yeah, I was going to say,
it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Definitely.
That's dang good joy.
Wow.
Fucking hell, it's going to be better than mine. I forgot to ask you guys earlier, sorry. Do you guys know a British film / Indian film called The Provoker?
No.
Have you ever heard of it at all?
Provoker.
Provoker.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, no. Is it quite new, or is it?
No, it's old. So basically, where I used to live up the road from here, where my parents, 10 houses down, was an Asian family, and the dad was quite an abuser to the wife. He would beat her up and the kids up and stuff like that. And one day she essentially set him on fire. She covered him in petrol, set him on fire. And that's what the movie's about. It's about the court case of why she did this. And I don't know if you ever, I thought you might have heard of it, because obviously
it happened 10 blocks away from you.
And so I didn't know, because this happened, I think, just before we actually moved to Crawley, because I obviously moved from London to here, and that happened. And I was working at Blockbuster at the time, and I found that we only had like a couple of copies of it, and I was like, why does this sort of sound familiar? And then I remember years ago, my mum had told me that what the lady did to that house and whatnot, and I still drive past it when I go past my parents, thinking, oh shit, that's where that dude got burnt in there and stuff like that. But yeah, I was just like, I couldn't believe they actually made a movie of it. And it's got like Robbie Coltrane in it as well, from Harry Potter, who plays Hagrid.
Yeah.
I think he plays like the judge or something in that as well. But check it out. It's just like I completely forgot that movie. And I was like, when you were talking about that, I was like, oh shit, I wonder if these guys know that movie. Anyway, off topic. Go, what's your 5?
All right, my number 5. We're going to hop on an airplane. We're going to go to Brazil because it's City of God.
Oh, we'll see. Sorry, we're laughing because we mentioned that movie before that, and I didn't know it was your top 5. Sorry. Wow, good choice. Yeah, I love that movie. Very good movie.
It's on our radar. You haven't seen it, Gal? Okay, I think I have it on DVD.
I've heard of it. I know people talking about it.
That's the street gangs of Brazil, isn't it?
That's the one. Yeah. So this movie, it's Brazilian, and it's done by. It's one of the first movies that it's done by 2 directors.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. So it's done by don't know these guys' names, but Fernando Meirelles and Katia Lund. Gal knows these guys.
Fuck off.
He's like my favorite directors. Right. So basically, the plot is loosely based on like current events that are happening in favela in Brazil, but it's something that happens over a space of like 30 years from I think it's like the 60s all the way to the 80s,
right.
And it follows basically the story of it's kind of like these kids that are growing up in the favela and like you know really like harsh parts of Brazil. I'd say harsh, like they just didn't really have anything. And they kind of it's kind of also those kind of movies, like it's a gangster movie where these guys, it's like coming up, they're coming up in the world, and as time goes on, obviously there's always that one smart kid who's got his head on, and there's one who's really bad, and there's always one who's in the middle, and they kind of just, it's a story about them coming up in Brazil, and you see so much about Brazilian politics, occasional like the racism, the class system,
how they initiate them into their gang and stuff as well.
Yeah, all of that, and it was such an amazing movie. I remember watching this when I was like 18 or 19 at the time. It was kind of fairly after when it came out, and you've seen it, Anne, right? It's just,
the thing was that the issue is we never got it in our cinema at the time. So another benefit of working in Blockbuster is that you had it in there, and that's when we got to powerful film,
absolutely
very powerful film.
Yeah,
it was one of those films that it was kind of getting that hype.
Yeah, that's
and it's like, what's all the hype about? And then you watch it like,
this is what it's all about.
That's
exactly.
Why.
Yeah,
was it really good. Violence film?
I would say so.
Time.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot like you say. What's happening in Brazil right now with the favelas and the gangs and stuff. So it's kind of based on that. So there's like
it's going back to what I was saying. How these films show you stuff happening in other parts of the world, just like, I didn't realize they did that to kids and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, and I remember watching, I think there's actually a documentary on Netflix about it, one of those 20-minute
I didn't know that.
Right? Which is actually good. It's on Prime. It's really good because they tell you about how they didn't expect like this movie will be so popular and it grossed so much money, and it made the kids like, the kids and the adult actors like, superstars, because especially one of the guy who plays Z, he's one of the gangsters, right? And he's just phenomenal. Like, he's the type of bad guy that you just love, and just seeing like where he came from, and he's a guy who's always unlucky. He's not like, they're all having like the carnival, and he's the one guy who's not getting the girls, and he's like, why, I should, because I'm a gangster and all this and all that, and he just like revolts, and the other guy's trying to stop him, and one of the kids, like, he's like an aspiring journalist and he wants to become a journalist, and the other, it's so like, wow, it's amazing. Yeah, it's really, really great movie.
It's a good choice.
You have to watch it. Yeah, Gal, you have to definitely get it.
I've seen, like,
you've heard of
it, but I've never chance to watch
it. If it
it
pops up, give it a chance. Like I said, it pops up on Prime and Netflix every so often. Give it a go.
It should be on one of them.
But it's just a gangster type film.
Basically, it's like that's basically it. Coming up gangster kind of movie.
Something for Nash to watch.
Yeah.
He's probably watched it.
He's probably seen it.
He was the one in it then.
He's an extra.
Fucking moody.
Yeah.
Anything else on that?
That's it. Yeah.
Right,
that's
my number 5 has already been mentioned, and it's from Germany. So so basically, my top 5 is from a different country, every one. So because everyone who knows me loves Korean films, it would all be Korean in my opinion, personally. So I thought, no, I'll be fair and do one from every country.
I'm not gonna lie. Every time I made a list, everything was pointing towards Korean. Like, it would have been all.
Yeah, we'll do a different episode for that. We'll do a top 5 Korean movies episode. So anyway, my number 5 is from Germany, and it's The Guilty.
Yes,
it's the original Guilty. So
Good
my
choice.
friend Tim, hello Tim, if you're listening, is my go-to guy when it comes to world cinema stuff. He has been from day one my world cinema guy. I do keep up world cinema, but with families and stuff, I don't keep up with it as much now. Sure. And he always informs me when there's like a new trailer, a new movie, or from the director of this specific film. I don't know, man, but I'm just glad I've got him in my life. No, he's a great friend. I know you're a great friend, dude, but you're also my go-to guy, and I really appreciate it for world cinema. And he just pops up these things every now and then, says, "Watch this." Doesn't tell me anything about it. Just watch it. And then, like, when The Guilty came up, I'm like, I can't be bothered. It's a night shift now. I'm not enough to watch. I'll watch it, whatnot. And good God, it's such a shocker to the situation it puts you in.
Yeah.
So for anyone who doesn't know what The Guilty is, if you have seen the remake as well with Jake Gyllenhaal recently, it's basically about a man who works for, is it 999 911 call center?
Like a
it was in Germany. I don't know what the number is in Germany.
Yeah.
He and it's all set in that one room all night. Yeah. On his night shift, isn't it?
Yeah.
The whole movie is just literally this man talking on the phone. And I know it sounds retarded, but it's one of those movies where it makes you use your imagination. When you hear the other person on the phone saying, I've done this, I've done that, whatnot, or, you know, you can't help but think in your head the other side of the phone, what's happening on the other side of the phone. And it's literally just that throughout the whole entire movie, and how gripping it is, and how, you know, what would you do in that sort of situation sort of thing? And the thing is, my wife literally this week has started a job at the 999 call center, so I'm kind of worried that she's going to have to go through this shit as well. And obviously with what happens at the end, I won't go into it too much because you need to watch it. I'm kind of gutted now that the new one is out because Netflix have taken away the original, which is the one I put in my top 5. They've taken it off to replace with the new one, which is a bit of a nussance.
Yeah, it's probably because of the name being the same name.
Exactly.
Stuff.
Yeah, but it's just annoying how they got rid of that.
So stupid.
But I'll be honest, I haven't really seen many German. I have seen some German films, but not as many as I should have. So when I found out, when I was recommended this by Tim, and it was a German film, I was like, well, okay, let's give it a try. You know, I'm always up for anything in the end today, but you know, sometimes you've got to be in the mood to watch certain things, haven't you?
Definitely.
And I can't say no to Guilty, and I can't recommend it enough. I don't want to talk about it too much because there is a lot to experience when you watch it, isn't it?
Definitely.
You can't,
But again, I haven't seen the remake. Gal says it's pretty good.
It is, mate. You got to watch it. You got to watch it.
So again, if I'm in the right frame of mind, I might give it a go.
Please just watch it. It's really good. It changed my mind. I was like, no, this is going to be horrible. And I was like, oh my God, his acting works so well. But
it did justice.
Thing is, right, you were talking about as if you were reading the subtitles, but you were saying, oh, you can imagine. But the subtitles made it even more, like we were reading it.
Yeah.
And we were putting ourselves in it. So that has an amazing effect.
Exactly, yeah.
Whereas Jake's ones, the only reason why it works so well is he played a good role in it.
His character came out, right?
His acting was really on point.
I think
if there was anyone else, I think it would have been rubbish.
Definitely. It's interesting, you know, and so we're talking about the whole world cinema thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's taken a German movie. Like, this is something that even, you can imagine the guys in the Hollywood, like, production studios, whoever bought the script for it, or, you know, Netflix were like, holy shit, how didn't we think of this, you know?
Yeah.
And that's it. And they just bought the rights for it and made their own version of it. And it's like, it's as simple as that. It's basically you imagine, and I tell you, we can talk about this movie, and you thinking of a motorway or whatever would be different from how I pictured the motorway. It's like everyone has their own take on it. You're just getting described. You're giving a description of it, and you're picturing it in your head, and that's what the beauty of it. It's as simple as that.
And this is what I was going to say. What is it about world cinema you like? And what I'm saying, it's the stories and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's weird how we go to Hollywood remaking it because they haven't come up with it.
Yes.
These other countries have, and that's why I appreciate world cinema more, because
100%.
it is just the simplest of ideas,
So simple.
made so much differently.
Yeah.
You know, and
I can't think of a simpler movie in terms of the context of it.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else.
I mean, we've had
show.
other movies similar to, you know, being stuck in that one place throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
And, you know, stuff like Phone Booth or Buried or, you know, Glengarry Glen Ross, for example. It's just, you know, they've okay words, but this, how, you know, how was this justified that they filmed a guy on the phone for an hour and a half?
Exactly.
And it was still so watchable. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just,
it hits you on emotional levels as well, the film.
And it gives you, it makes you appreciate what these people do.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
That is a good point.
It's just because, like I said, my wife was training for it at the moment, and she was telling me stuff about, you know, an old woman just, you know, rung up, and she didn't want exactly help. She didn't want, you know, anyone to come over, but she just wanted help, like to help someone help her shut down her central heating or something, or because she was too hot, you know, and, you know, and you know how heartbreaking it is because, you know, you're on the other end of the phone, you can't do help,
anything.
can you? You can't actually physically go there.
That is
you know, what must go through people's minds, you know, just to.
I think there's going to be times where your missus is going to come and break down or something.
That's what I'm saying, especially the ending to this movie. I wouldn't blame her at all, to be honest.
No,
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it's true. That's what it is. One of the dispensers that I work with, she used to work in that as well, and it's the same thing. And it's basically, she said she watched the movie, so I made her watch that movie.
Oh, really?
I was like, this is about, it's a rhetoric on your life before you retired from that and came here and stuff. And she said it's that. Like this is the original. It's the German version, by the way. This is before that one came out. She said it's the same thing, and she said, how have they not made a movie like this? And it's taken a German. Well, at the time I thought it was like Danish or something, but now we know it's German. But for them to think of something so simple and to put this across, and it's so real. It really is, and it's like you said, Anne, you can't do anything. You're speaking to them, and that's all you can do. Like you're looking at how many ambulances are around the area. Which one do I send out? No one's ever seen this, and it's taken.
I don't know how the training goes, but when he's in that, when our main protagonist is in the movie and he's just simply saying, "Yeah, it's okay, someone will be with you in a minute." How can you stay calm when someone's like dying and how are you like, "All right, I'll be there in a minute." That'd be me. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just
essentially like the call people at the call center. They could be. Listening to this guy's last words. And, it's scary, man. Like,
it's insane.
That is mental, man. Fuck. That could scar people, man.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. So
to do that job, that's
it's an eye opener to not obviously the situation, but the job itself. Like, and like Gokul said, it's like we need more of these movies where people go through certain things that can hit people hard, That's why I'm going off topic now, how mental health kicks in and all this sort of stuff. So you know what I'm saying? It's
100%, So
that's why it's got to be in my top 5, and I highly recommend it. Again, if you haven't seen the remake, obviously watch the remake. I can't justify it, but my opinion, watch the original.
Yeah, please see the original.
Yeah. So we'll go to number 4.
That was me again.
Number 4.
Yes, it is you, so we've come around quite quickly, haven't we?
Yes. Just a minute. All right, my one is number 4. It's a Korean.
Okay.
Oh, he's
Korean barbecue. I'm joking. It's one again. You've meant. You know what? I want to say you are my go-to guy.
I'm the go-to because I get it from the other go-to guy, and I'm the go-to guy for you go-to guys. And the thing is, you'll be a go-to guy for someone else. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? You pay it forward. Always pay it forward.
Exactly.
So,
someone probably goes to the other guy who goes to him, goes through me,
and he acts like he's all pro and stuff. My one is. This is like a comedy, and it's Korean, and it's Extreme Job.
Yes, I love that movie.
So not that I chose it because I had a chicken shop once, but
Extreme Job working at a chicken shop. I love that film.
This is the movie you watched. What a pick! Absolutely
so
brilliant.
Basically, I think
great.
It's a squad. They're trying to take down this drug kingpin or something like that, and they set up fucking chicken shop
to go undercover. It's like a stakeout, isn't it?
And they actually run it sick. They struggle. And they end up doing it like a proper mission.
Yeah, because one of the blokes ends up having like a secret recipe and it ends up being like a really big chicken thing, doesn't it?
They get popular, they kick off and stuff. It's amazing.
It's such a great concept.
So good.
Do you know what? It's such a fun film. Yeah. And when I got you guys to watch that last year, when we had that birthday bash last year, you guys were laughing your asses off for that entire film.
It was so funny.
It's so ridiculous and funny, man. It's
been a while.
I want to watch it again.
Definitely.
I had to.
I've still got it, dude. You ever watch it?
It's so good. I think my favorite bit is the bit in the van with the dude. Oh, I can't remember he doesn't talk much.
Right.
One of the guys who doesn't talk much.
Is he sitting in the back of the van?
Yeah, the back of the van, and he says something. I can't remember.
I can't remember what it is now.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's
but no, it's so basically they're essentially their own squad, aren't they?
Yeah,
and they keep fucking up whatnot. So this boss there says go do stakeout whatnot, and
because they
end up putting all their money into a shop that was meant to fail.
The people they're spying on is just up above
the warehouse just above across the road, isn't it?
So occasionally they'll order something and they'll have to go deliver, and they keep fucking it up.
So every time they go in, they can put like hidden cams in there to spy on them, and they keep fucking up because they're just dumbasses.
Oh my god, proper dumbasses.
And obviously, no one's going to watch this. So the big twist is at the end, they're actually all pretty good cops as well, and they've all got like special abilities. Like one's a judo champion or something and whatnot. One can take hits to the head without getting knocked out. and he has the most epic slap in cinema history. It's unreal.
Dude, I want to watch it again. No.
And one of them's the main guy, the main copper is called Zombie because he never dies. It's brilliant. It's such a good picture. You know what? I'm denied about it because it's like I can only pick one Korean film in my top 5, and it was something else in that. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just I think that movie is such fun.
I think,
really.
and
I'm surprised you put it in there.
Yeah, no,
of all the Korean films, you put that in there.
like I said before, like I do love like my humor in there, man, because like I don't know what it is. It's so funny when it's so serious.
That's
like,
the thing.
especially like something, but this is not like the case. This is meant to be funny, but it's even more funnier because the expression and I think I said it before. I'm not racist, but the way they say it and the way they react and the face expression, it's so funny.
It's their type of comedy, isn't it?
It's
Yeah,
so good, man.
It's very slapsticky, isn't it? It's not like it's a different type of comedy. Yeah, it's
but there's
more
moments like you said earlier, like. I think with Koreans, it's like you can't tell whether you should be laughing or not.
That's
exactly.
sometimes I'm like, okay, this is it just me or
exactly? Is everyone feeling the same?
But but I'm at ease when Ant's laughing about it as well. So
yeah, exactly.
It's not just me.
Yeah, you don't feel alone. Like,
No, honestly, it's like when I first watched that movie and you know everything's going so bad for them, and then when they come up with that recipe for the chicken and everyone starts buying it, it's like they're meant to. No, there's a part, isn't there a part in the movie where they go to their boss in the police station, and they're having like a meeting with him, and all of a sudden he gets a phone call, and he's like, "Yeah, it's a chicken shop."
No, it's busy. Where are you?
Yeah.
And then I think that they get so busy, so like I think the shop gets overrun, and
they get bought out, didn't they? They make a franchise, they get bought out.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
The other guys buy it. Yeah,
it's like they can't do their copper job, but any good. But when they do chicken, they're masters at it. It's like, and it's not done intentionally. It's just done out of like dumb luck.
Oh, but I'm gonna watch it again.
It's a great movie.
It's such a great film.
So good.
Yeah, extreme job working in a chipping shop. Give it a go.
Check it out, guys. My recommendation.
No, good number 4, sir. Definitely really good.
Yes.
Go, cool. What's your number 4?
Right. So my number 4 is right. So it's actually so we're going back on a plane, and this is probably so same like
you're going on a plane for every of your choices because that's why it's world cinema.
I'm like bringing a bit of.
We're going on a plane again.
Yeah, going on a plane again.
You sound like one of those kids' children books. We're going on a plane again. We're going to go over it. We're not going to go under it.
We're going to go through it.
Yeah.
The free bears.
That's it. You know what you talk about?
That's really
We're
good.
going on the bear hunt.
We're going on a bear hunt. Great children's book. I was like, what the hell?
And you haven't got kids. How the fuck do you know this?
Yeah.
Sorry, anyway, we're on a boat. We're on a plane, sorry.
We're playing. We're going back. And this is, so I'm doing what you're doing, and I'm just picking movies from different regions of the world. I think
that's how it should be done, yeah.
Exactly. Every continent except, obviously, America and Australia. So this one is going back to it's actually going to back to India. And I'm going to mention this movie because to me, wow, it really, it brought emotion because it was such a good movie.
It's an Indian film.
It's an Indian, so this is a Bollywood movie, right? Okay. But Bollywood, like, if you guys know
not
Bollywood.
Hollywood or whatnot. Actual official
this
Bollywood.
Is actually official Bollywood. The original.
The original OG.
Exactly. And the guy who stars in it, he's actually an indie director / actor. His name's Amir Khan, and he stars in this movie as well. What makes this movie so special is like your typical, it was one of those first movies where for once, it wasn't a lot of dancing or singing, in the movie. Because the idea is like with Bollywood movies, there's the story, and in between they have songs, stuff like that. And these songs come out on CDs and MP3s, and people listen to the songs from that movie.
The films you're talking about, they stand out because they don't have the songs or actions or whatever. Just like my one, they had no songs or no funny scenes or anything. Because it's just really typical in their films.
So this movie is like an independent movie, and so the idea is that. Okay, it's 3 kids, right? Like 3 guys who are going to university, and it's something that right. Have you seen it?
3 Idiots.
3 Idiots.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
that's it. Yeah, I didn't. Oh my god, I forgot to mention the movie. Sorry. 3 Idiots.
Yeah,
amazing film.
Amazing. Again, it's on Netflix, guys. You know what? You're listening to this. You got. Just watch it now.
Amazing.
Put it out on your phone and watch it. Yeah. Okay, it's like 3 hours, but it's a great movie. The reason why it's good for me is watching it growing up. It was at a time when I was going to university, and it's the same. I was in my first year of uni, and it's about these kids who are going to uni. So for us, you go to uni, you mess about, as you do in uni, you have a fun time. It's great. But for a lot of people around the world, especially in India, like you have to go to university to do something because your family
relies on that.
They rely on it. So you can't fuck up. You have to like work hard. It's about three friends who are going through that, you know, that process. It's funny. It's so heartwarming. And at one point it was on IMDb's top, I think it reached number 26.
All time. Wow.
Yeah. Obviously it went down the scale because loads of other movies came out and stuff. But at the time it was 26. So this is amazing. And the reason why I think it touched a lot of people because it had that same rhetoric that other people are seeing around the world. So again, if you're watching in other countries...
So it's a feel-good film or...
It's a feel-good movie. So the main premise of it is to say, basically, do what you enjoy. That's it, right? Don't think about how much money you're going to make in the future, what people think of your status if you become a doctor or something like that. It's about three guys who have they're basically from three different, like they're studying three different courses, three different backgrounds.
What's the main guy?
And his name is Amir Khan. He's the main guy, right?
What's his background? I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember now.
Because he was he's the one that changes it.
Yeah, so basically, I think he wanted to be an engineer, right? And in India, there is a huge thing for kids being engineers, right? It's so competitive to the point when people, sadly, there is a scene in this movie where guy commits suicide because he can't handle the stress. He's let his family down. He doesn't have the money. You know, we have student grants and stuff like that. We're okay. We don't have to pay off our student grants straight away. We reach, like in this country, you reach 65, I think it's like 45 or 50 and it's gone. You don't have to pay it. But there, it's a debt. And the same thing as America. It's like a universal thing.
Sure.
But for there, it's such a letdown if you fail, you know, and there's one scene in it that almost made me cry. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe they showed this. It was so deep. And then, you know, it's heartwarming movies go on, you learn from that. And one of the guys, who's the Amir Khan guy, like he ends up, you know, he wanted to, his real passion was to be a wildlife photographer. And obviously people are like, how are you going to make money from that? Like, you know, like parents are like, you're stupid, don't do this. And obviously there's that whole thing with it. And, you know, I won't spoil the ending, but you probably know what he became. But, you know, it's just, yeah. Yeah. And, you know, and you kind of follow these three guys as they come out of university and they've kind of done their own thing. And it really is like heartwarming. It's so good. And I think Mexico have done a rendition of it. Apparently that was quite good. And there's word that obviously Hollywood are going to do it as well. But it's not going to be the original, you know.
Yeah, it's a film that kind of says what's wrong with the whole, like, because I watched the Three Idiots, but I watched a remake in Tamil.
Oh right, yeah,
it's called shit. What's the name? Oh, that's gonna bug me.
Yeah.
Friend or Friends? Oh my God.
Yeah.
But anyway, the remake. Yeah, and it's not exact copy.
Yeah,
because Vijay is in it, but they what it is it says what's wrong with it. That there's more about it. There's more, like, I think how strict they are, like Goku is, because it leads to suicide, and it kind of like another eye opener a little bit as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And it kind of says, like, the one I watched was, it said you can utilize other ways of, you know, improving yourself and stuff like that. There's so many like amazing little bits in it.
I have to be honest with you, I was annoyed by the Tamil one. Like,
were you?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Well,
I watched it and I just thought, you know, it's that whole thing of, you know, like, just I can understand why they did it. I think they just wanted to kind of make money from it and stuff. But the original, the individual, like from Amir Khan, the director who did this, like, he literally sat down and his story of it, you know, it wasn't just a carbon copy. It was like, this is what we're going through, you know, and it, for once, like, thank you, they've done a Bollywood movie that isn't all about dancing and stuff. They're showing that there's more to it, you know. There really is. And like, it was so original, and it really got like good reviews, and like loads of people were like praising it and stuff. But yeah, it was a really good feel good movie, and it was something that had to feature on it.
He's like, one of the few that, well, there are loads of amazing people. He's the one that always does like a new role, and he does it differently.
Exactly.
He did one quite recent, probably a couple of years ago, where the first Indian wrestler. Yeah. And this guy is a phenomenal actor, and he
trained for it, isn't it?
He got fat for the role because the role of an ex wrestler, so he had a belly and stuff.
He Christian Bale'd it, and
oh really? Okay,
and then for like 50 for a 10-second scene of him like being ripped or something, he shredded all that weight. Oh my God, it's fascinating. It's really, I can't remember that.
I really do admire actors who can do that.
He's one of those like hidden, like not hidden, he's one of those gems of Bollywood, I think so.
Yeah, definitely. And I hate to say he's Bollywood because it's very art house, and it's very like, you know, it should be like in my opinion, I think there's Bollywood, but they should just be Indian, if that makes sense, like Indian almost.
Sure,
like that's how it should be, because, and it doesn't have to be from North, it can be from anywhere, but it's just doesn't follow the concept. That's how I think of it. But that definitely had to go.
Yeah, no, I got to say the original one was.
It was amazing. And the reason why, for me as well, like the reason why I had to is because I never wanted to watch Bollywood movies. And my parents forced me to watch this. Like, you have to watch this. It's Sunday night, okay.
You're like, watch this.
I want to watch this. I want to watch Top Gear. It's Sunday evening, And then, no, just seriously, you had to watch this movie. So I thought, all right. And I watched it. And the end of it, I was like, I'm so happy you showed me this. And one of those things that makes you think about life as well,
Yeah.
Like, it's like, ooh, maybe there's not about becoming rich and having a nice car and stuff. It's more about what you wake up in the morning, what you enjoy doing. And I'm so happy I saw that, because that kind of made me realize that that's what life is, right? Getting really deep, but yeah.
No, it's true. No, absolutely. Kind of
yeah.
That's the whole point of the episode, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
So explain why it's your favourite. It's a pretty damn good pick, to be honest. I'm quite intrigued to watch it, to be honest.
Please, it's really good.
It's really good.
Yeah. Nice. Is it your go?
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
I thought there's going to be a little bit more. Shit, and I got to remember what I put. So we're going to hop on a plane. We're not going to go over it. We're not going to go under it.
Is it definitely a plane?
We're going to go through it, yeah? We are going to the land of Sweden for this movie.
Oh, nice.
And it is a movie called Let the Right One In.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I can remember if you've seen this big
I
girl
don't
or
know if I
not.
watched the remake. Is it the boy and the little girl?
So the remake is Let Me In, it's called.
Okay.
Which is total and utter wank, in my opinion. But anyway, Let the Right One In is essentially it is a vampire film, if you think about it. But it's actually a movie about friendship, and I'm talking like this beautiful, beautiful friendship between just a boy and a girl. And unfortunately, the girl is a vampire. So basically, it's about a boy. I think his name's Thomas. Correct me if I'm wrong if it's that. He's this little nobody kid who gets beaten up by bullies, whatnot. He lives with his mum. He's on his own, and one day stumbles across a little girl who's moved into the flat next door to him, I believe, something like that.
Opposite him, right?
No, it's next door. It's definitely next door because they do the Morse code, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And he only sees her at night time. And obviously it's the winter, so it gets dark quite early. So when he's home from school, he sees her in the park, whatnot, comes and talks to her, whatnot, every so often, and eventually they kind of become friends. And he finds out later on in the movie that she's a vampire. So he's kind of like, you would have thought that he would either be scared or terrified of her, but he's just like, I don't care if you're a vampire, you're my friend. I would like to know more about you. There are other horror elements to it, because there's a old man that's looking after the vampire girl, and he goes around cutting people's throats to feed her, stuff like that. It sounds comical, but it's actually done in like a horror way.
Yeah.
But again, it's a movie about friendship at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And again, this goes on even more. He also asks. There's a part in this movie I really, really love. I think I mentioned it before, where we never find out why we have to invite vampires into a home or into a building or into anything.
Sure.
And there's a part where he's like, well, come into my room. Let me show you my room or not. And she's like, I can't. You haven't invited me in. He's like, well, what would I do if I don't invite you in? So she doesn't say anything. She just walks in. And next minute, blood just starts coming out from her eyes and her ears and everything. He's like, no, stop. I invite you. And it's such a child thing to do. It's such like, you just never know. And as a child, you're always curious and whatnot. And obviously, when she has to go home, their bedroom, they're opposite flats, but their wall is like the divider between both bedrooms. So they create a Morse code thing with one another. So they talk to each other during night. It's so
cool.
sweet.
Wow.
You obviously find out that the girl is, hundreds of years old, whatnot. There's no ever a temptation to bite him, to make him a vampire as well. There's a reason she wants to be friends with him, because of how he's human and whatnot. And there's a part at the end where he gets bullied to a point where these bullies could eventually drown him. He could die.
Shit.
And I won't go too much into it, but Ellie sort of
back
saves him. The way it's done is wicked.
Okay.
Like the shot it's done in is really good.
Yeah.
And when he comes up from the water and he just looks into Ellie's eyes, it's like, that is so damn beautiful to look at. That is friendship. I've never seen anything like that since maybe E.T.
Right.
How, a boy and an alien have become friends with one another. Something you never thought would ever exist or whatnot.
Yeah, sure.
And it's such a lovely film. And it was one of those movies that I heard about via like film magazines. I used to collect film magazines back in the day before internet was big and whatnot, sort of thing. And they kept talking about this movie, and again, we never got it in our cinema, so I had to wait till the Blu-ray came out. I paid like £25 for the Blu-ray, which was a lot back then, obviously, and took a chance of it. And it's one of those ones where I never will ever forget it. It is a cracking film. I think I did mention to you. I don't know if you watched it.
I did. That's the one I watched. Yeah.
What was it called again?
Let the Right One In.
Let the Right
But there
One
was a
In.
remake called
Okay.
Let Me In.
Okay.
Which was done by the man who's just done the recent Batman film coming out.
Oh, okay.
So
Right.
it's a shame. I mean, I gave it a try, but I'm just too big a fan. That chemistry between the two of them just didn't fit right in the remake.
I haven't seen the remake.
The remake is
it accurate, like proper accurate? Or does it
it is very accurate. There's a couple of little differences and whatnot. Nothing major.
Don't get me wrong, I swear there were a little bit funny scenes, especially when he was trying to get the blood, the old man trying to get the blood.
That's what I'm saying. There's like a part where the old man who looks after her, so obviously he's going around trying to feed her, so he has to go around killing people and stuff.
Sure.
He gets caught essentially, and
Someone else.
I can't remember if he gets attacked or something, but he gets acid on his face, so he's very disfigured now, and he's got to a point where he's like, I'm too old now, I can't keep doing this, I keep getting caught, and he kills himself. So that's another reason why Ellie comes to Thomas, because she has nothing to live for now. She's got no other way of, like, apart from her surviving herself.
Right.
Ain't she like a special one or something like that?
No. There's one part where Ellie's feeding on someone, and Thomas goes to see her from behind, and she has like she turns to look at him at one point, and she's obviously got blood around her mouth, but her face is very like, it's older than a child's would be. Wow. Like if she was over 100 years old, that's what the face would look like. And she's like, stop, don't look at me. He turns around and then her face is back. There's also little things just to remind you she's a vampire, because there are so many moments in this film you're like, they're just two kids. But no, she's a vampire. Remember this. And that's what I just love about it. It keeps you constant with the fact that, this is no ordinary friendship and all that sort of stuff. I think at the very end, I think he puts it, like, because he can't obviously walk with her during the daylight.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So he's got her in like a box or something. He'll carry her in, and then he'll Morse code with her.
In the box?
Yeah, so that people don't know that there's a vampire in the box. Wow. It's so sweet, man. It's so nice. But it's got, like I said, I think my friend Tim, who I mentioned here before, he put it on his top 5 horror films of all time. Wow. On last year's Spectacular, and I kicked myself that I didn't put it on there. I was like, because there are some like horror elements to it, but
it's a unique sort of film, man.
It's just I never. When a movie gets so hyped up, you watch it and you're like, well, what was the point of that? I think that's just one of those ones where, do you know what? I thought it was worth the hype. You know, and I recommend it to everyone. It might not be everyone's cup of tea because stupid. It's a child vampire, blah, 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 but it's it's so sweet,
unique,
man.
I think you got to appreciate the friendship level, and I think. Yeah, I think there's shots in it, like where they're in the snow, and then she's standing on top of that. That's freaky for me, man. He's in the snow and she's like on top of something. That, in a sense, says this is something wrong here. Like,
because essentially gravity would stop her doing that, so she shouldn't be like up on that level or something. Yeah,
and you're just like, and how is no one noticed as well? And it's just like it's weird. It's weird, and I thought it was really good.
Yeah,
I thought it was really good.
Yeah, so when the old man can't feed her anymore, she goes to do it herself, but because she's a child, everyone wants to. So how she does it, she's in a corner in the street and she cries like a little child would do.
Oh yeah.
So any old person would go, "Oh, you okay?" And that's when she strikes. So that's another thing about her. It's just like she's friendly. She's a friendly vampire, but at times she's got to feed. So she's going to have to be evil at some point.
Of course.
So it's so good, man. It's just
That's wicked.
I highly recommend it for anyone. It does pop up on Amazon Prime every now and then. Let the right one in. Give it a shot, guys.
Let me in.
Number 3.
Big Gal, what's your number 3? Are we on a plane?
We're on
because we're in Korea at the moment. The last one. Are we still in Korea?
No. We're moving.
We're on a plane. Where are we going to?
Indonesia.
Where are we going? Oh, you might clash with me on this one.
I think I know. Does it begin with an R?
Yeah, it's my number 3.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
It is. Yeah, it's my number 3.
Nice. Brilliant.
We'll go this together. So we're both getting on this plane.
Me and Anna going on a plane to
Business
Indonesia.
Class. Nice. Good choices.
So we go in. So the raid was one where you said, what was a weird question? And I said, I can't say because it's in my top 5.
The genre? Or the reason you got into cinemas?
Was it
World cinema?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Reason.
Okay, yeah. I think this is one of those films.
Or,
when it
no,
came-
the movie that got you into world cinema.
yeah,
Yeah.
The Raid.
And
Yeah.
this like I said, I was surrounded by world cinema before, but this is the one where I actually hang about. Where is this from? Where,
Yeah.
you know, I started because the amount of films I watch, and I thought, oh yeah, that's Chinese, and then find out, oh boy, it's not even Chinese, it's Korean and stuff like that. So this is the time where I thought, you know what, let me research, let me find out what's going on. So, and I broadened my horizon with this film, and essentially The Raid. And
I think it was my first Indonesian film as well.
it's got to be my
Yeah.
first Indonesian
Yeah.
film. Yeah,
Same,
I
same.
can't remember any others.
Yeah.
But
It
it was,
probably
the
has
first
been a
one.
couple,
but isn't it
but
directed by a
Yeah.
Welsh guy? Or
yeah,
something?
Gareth.
it's a Welshman, Gareth
Yeah.
Edwards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
Edwards, yeah.
not Gareth Edwards. Gareth Edwards
Evans?
did
Gareth
That's what I'm
Evans.
saying. It's not
Gareth Evans. Yeah,
Evans, right? Yeah.
Gareth Evans.
He
Sorry.
did,
And it was
Gang-
like a low budget film
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
But the actor's quite popular now.
I'd love to know if he could actually speak Indonesian.
Yeah,
You know,
right?
or if he got someone to translate for him, or if they, I think they do speak English, but it's
I was
still.
going to say, how did
I'm
they...
just intrigued how this is.
Yeah.
A Welshman made this, not your average John Woo or
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
Wachowskis or something.
No.
A random Welshman made this epic action movie.
Exactly.
What has he done
Exactly.
after this though? Like anything?
Raid 2,
Raid
The
2.
Apostle, Gangs of London.
Apostle.
The Apostle.
Oh yes, the
Yes.
gang of
And the
oh,
Gangs of
yes,
London.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he just disappeared.
see
Oh,
it
anyway.
now.
The story of this, the raid is basically a rookie. He's starting his
Yeah.
first job or something.
Rookie cop. Is it
SWAT
SWAT
team.
SWAT, yeah.
And there's a day where they're going to raid this flat.
So they got a tip, haven't they, that this big drug lord's in a block of flats, isn't
yeah,
it?
and he runs that whole block. or
Yes, that's
something,
right,
and it's-
yeah.
And the whole block is full of gangsters, and they're going to take him down no matter what.
Yeah.
And
But they've got to go from the bottom ground all the way to
all
the
the
top
way
to
to
get
the
to
top.
him.
Yeah, that's
And
the
obviously-
journey, right? Yeah.
And the journey, and then they're all. I love the bit where in the van and they're all like shaking
the first scene.
Yeah, the first scene, and then they'll
Yeah.
go in.
Yeah.
When does the soundtrack kick in?
It's during that bit, I think.
No, it's as
in
soon
the-
as they get in. The
They
first
get
bit
alerted,
happens, yeah.
Whether the
Yeah.
kid presses.
They're all waiting from,
Yeah, so they sneak in and inside.
It's a guy from Linkin Park, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Mike Shinoda did
That's
that.
it.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
And then obviously
Sick soundtrack.
I think
Yeah.
they sneak
Is it going to
in.
be in your...
the next one. Yeah.
And then obviously they get caught eventually. A kid presses the
Alerts them, doesn't
and
he?
then
Yeah. So, yeah,
that's
they're
when
fucked.
shit loose.
Yep.
My God, the fucking before this, I got to say, I don't without spoiling. There was another film I thought had amazing, and I think its influence on this film, and this one just took the action to another level. Like I've never seen martial arts skills, and
But it's not just the martial arts though. It's
Yeah.
the fight. It's the other fight, the knife fight, the machete fights,
Yeah,
the
the
actual
gun-
gun
the
fights,
whole-
the
yeah.
explosions,
But that's what I'm saying.
everything.
and it was just my God. This is brilliant. Like I've never seen anything like this at the. I was like, even now, I don't think I've seen anything onto that level. Maybe, but it's like the music. Oh, it's so good.
Everything.
So damn good.
Absolutely.
And it was like
Yeah.
a low budget film. Like,
Yes.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
go on, you do your bit.
No. The only reason why it's there is because if you remember the last season action episode, top
Yeah.
5 action movies
Yeah.
all the time, it was my number one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, everyone loves their bad boys, their diehards, their Matrix movies when it comes to action. But
Yeah.
this little Indonesian, directed by a Welshman movie has topped every
Out of
single
nowhere.
action movie, in my opinion.
100%.
You don't know action until
You've
you have seen the
yeah.
Raid
Raid,
or Raid
yeah.
2, either one of them.
Yeah.
Just because
Some of the kills. Oh my God.
Good God! I remember
Insane.
I was so hyped up for this film, right?
Did
And
you
it's-
actually now? I want to know. Did you knew this film? Like I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew of it because
Right.
being a film buff and
Yeah.
all whatnot. But this was one of those films where it was going to be in our cinema. It was finally going to be in our cinema, and you knew it was going to be there for less than a week. Because again, it's a world cinema film. It's subtitled. No one gives a shit about it.
Yeah.
So and then when we actually saw it, like you mentioned, Gal, about the death scenes and some of the death scenes. Good God, I was just mind blown. I was like, ooh,
Absolutely.
I
Yeah,
was so into it. And some of the other fight scenes, like with the little midget guy with the long hair. That epic fight scene where it's 2 versus 1. Good
Yeah.
fucking God.
Oh,
And I was just, oh my God, I cannot believe it. It's
I'm jealous. I can't be watching this in the cinema.
Oh.
yeah. Oh man,
mate.
I watched both of them
Oh.
in cinema. Number 2 is it just
just
number
crazy.
2 is the dark night between the two of them.
Yeah.
It's like, good God. Just,
Oh my
I mean,
God.
like-
oh man.
He does that one thing, is that, for example, just shoving someone's head and then repeatedly like
Yeah.
shoving it
Yeah,
on,
exactly, yeah.
broken glass and thing. And even in Gangs of
Thing
London,
is,
you
like,
see that. as well.
but-
It's just
And
like-
some scenes in that movie, in the Raid 1, are intense, like the machete through the wall
Yeah.
when they're trying to
Oh
hide
my
it. And it's
God.
oh my God, man.
Did you find it like some of the
Crazy.
fight scenes? It just didn't
Yeah.
let you breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like you're holding on to.
Suffocating.
But that's the point of it,
Yeah.
because let's face it, they're not that fight. Normal fight scenes wouldn't give you a chance to
No,
read, would
no.
it? Sort of
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
Because I think there was a sense of how they were martial art scenes, but some didn't feel as choreographed as some normal martial art scenes. Does that make any
Right.
sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because,
Exactly.
like you said, Big Al, it never gave you that breather to go.
You're like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
You're constantly just like, oh
Constant.
my, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I was
yeah,
watching
yeah.
the documentary. I think because it was a low budget. I don't know if you remember
Yeah.
where they have a little shoot off between. They're on the lower ground and
And then
down
the
at
upper
the
ground.
top.
That's how it starts, doesn't it? Yeah.
That,
They were struggling to get. They were trying to do something with the guns, and the lighting wasn't enough for it because they don't have the budget. So they had to do something like with the
I know you're gonna
CGI
say.
or something.
Yeah.
With the
Basically, they lit it up from the actual
That's it,
gunfire,
yeah.
so that provided the light. It
Yeah,
was
so-
they were practicing, and they were like, "Whoa, we don't need any more lights. This is enough." Because when you fire it, you see a flash of their face and you
Yeah.
see their reaction. So it's like that. It's
That's
like-
right.
and that just
That was
added to
pretty
it.
good,
You know? Yeah. Do you know? I was thinking about this actually. So it's a Penkat Silat. That's the martial art in this movie, right?
Yeah.
So it's furious and it's like tight spaces and everything. And see, if Hollywood picked up that script, they would have not been able to find the right guys to do this. I don't think so. They might have to maybe fly them in, but the fact that this was homegrown, and I think that's why Gareth Evans, maybe he had a script and he said, "Fuck Hollywood! Like I'm going to take this to Indonesia, where this is the home of
Yeah,
Penkat
I mean,
Silat,
so he
and I'm going to
he
do
done
it
a
like
film.
that, right?
He done a film before
Okay.
the Raid with the same main actor.
Ah,
I can't remember.
yeah.
I used to own that movie. I don't know if I still got it or not.
Okay.
And that was sort of like the tester for the Raid.
Right.
And when,
Yeah.
like you said, I think he
Yeah.
realized to go fuck Hollywood.
Yeah.
If I could do it in Indonesia, in Indonesia, then I would do it there.
Yeah,
cheaper,
straight.
quicker,
Exactly.
and and I won't have to
Yeah.
cut it to their regulations or anything
Exactly.
like that
Yeah.
at all.
See.
That's it.
That's a good
That's
point.
why.
Because
Exactly.
he had his freedom to do what he wanted. If he
Yeah.
took it to a big up company, but okay,
Yeah.
you could do it.
Yeah.
No, let's not do that.
Let's not
sort
cut
of-
his throat with a light bulb. No,
Yeah.
let's not do that.
let's not kill him with a broken door with a neck
Exactly.
like that.
I was going to ask you, do you think the premise of the film is very much like a video game? If you think
Yes.
about it,
Yeah.
you
Work
start
your way
from
to the
one
top.
and
Yeah,
work your way
yeah,
to the
yeah.
Work your
top.
way to level
Yeah,
after
that's true,
level.
yeah.
You work your way to the big boss at the end, sort of thing.
And you have like
sit
the
on
middle.
his seat.
Yeah, and there was
exactly.
twists in the storyline as well at the
Yeah,
end
there
as
was
well.
his-
There's a
with
couple
his
of here
brother.
and twists there and whatnot.
That's right. Yeah.
Because his brother's involved in
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, and a big out, exactly what you said. It wasn't until those credits rolled, I was like,
That's what
now
you
I can breathe.
Yeah.
Good God. There's a reason it's my number one action movie of all time, man.
There's not a lot of film that does that.
No
like,
way.
No.
From that moment they get into that building
I don't think there's any. Yeah, it's
until they
too-
get out. So-
Yeah.
and, yeah. So, and some of the stuff they do, like even the thugs, are like they're brutal, like as well. Like
Proper.
I think they burn the bodies outside. They pile them up. The SWATs.
Yeah, something like that. I can't
something
remember.
I can't
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
It's
a
insane.
nasty ass film, but amazing
Exactly.
at the same time.
But it's like
Great.
some of the stuff that happens in the movie is sort of situations that you would do as well if you were called. Like, remember the part when the raid actually starts off and they get locked in that house, so they axe their way through to the ground floor and then
Yeah.
jump into the next room down, and then go up,
Yeah,
don't they? Do you remember
totally,
that?
yeah.
Yes.
So you would do that
Yeah,
in that
no.
situation as well. So
Exactly.
that's why I kind
And
of
that
love
scene
that.
with what they do with the grenade, they throw it in the fridge and then
And then he
Something
shoved the
clever, yeah.
fridge. Oh, that was fucking
Yeah.
genius. He puts it in and he shoves the fridge at him. And
So-
it
so,
just
yeah.
explodes over. Oh my God.
and that machete.
I
guy
really
was
want to go
freaky.
watch it again now.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be a good one for
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
coming soon, guys.
That is true.
podcast.
Yeah, machete guy was free, but the main boss guy, he looks familiar. Was it me?
He probably has. I can't place him though. But the main machete dude who has the machete
fucking
gun,
freak.
Yeah.
dude, when he fucking dies, I was in that cinema. Yes, fuck you.
Exactly.
He's a piece of work. man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's brutal.
Yeah,
man.
he is
Fucking
brutal.
hell, just-
Absolutely.
So, I can't say any more about it really.
Yeah.
Apart from it's a damn
If,
good
if
choice.
you
so-
have not seen this
Such
film,
a good choice.
slap yourself and go watch it. Seriously, it's amazing. If you're a
actually true.
massive martial art fans, you need
Yeah.
to watch this.
Yeah.
Like it's so damn good.
can't think of anything.
Yeah, good choice, man. Good choice.
Yeah, mum,
High five
High
that shit.
five.
Yeah, go, cool. Follow
Yeah.
that. So
Damn it.
we're in Indonesia at the
We're
moment.
Indonesia, right? We're getting on a plane.
Where you going to?
So we're going to Italy now.
Oh, nice.
Right, so
Okay.
we're landing in Sicily.
Yeah,
right?
nice.
Via Istanbul. No, I'm joking. So it's a movie.
I love the
and-
connecting flight.
I had to get that kind of traveling knowledge in there. I'm sure you've seen this movie, Gal. I'm praying you've seen this movie. It's a movie called Cinema Paradiso.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
Italian movie.
That's an old movie as
It's
well.
not mate. I'm telling you, I watched this on a recommendation from an Italian friend, and he was like, "Mate, you have to watch this. Like, you have to see this movie."
Was it an Italian film when you were in Italy?
No.
How authentic would that be, right?
Right.
Amazing.
Like in Italy as well. Yeah, like you have to see this, my friend. Like, yeah. So this movie
You even did the hand.
No. I can do one better than that, but we'll wait till after you're in.
So the guy who directed this, his name is Giuseppe Torratoro or something. So he's this basically put him on the map. So he's famous for doing a lot of Italian movies, especially the black and white Italian stuff. So I know there's going to be Italian friends who are going to listen to this, and people from Italy and stuff. So guys, if I'm wrong, correct me. Right, somehow.
We have a 2% audience of Italy, so there
right.
are Italian listeners.
So they're listening to this. All right, guys. So if you ask your parents, right, that the black and white movies from back in the days were absolutely amazing, very romantic, and really good, right? So this guy kind of did something that was so good that kind of won over the world audience. And I watched this on Netflix. Again, that's why I was saying it's so good that this was on Netflix. Sorry, I'd say Amazon Prime, and then it came on to Netflix,
sure.
whatever, right? So the premise of the movie is amazing. And when you think about it, it's you would relate to this so much, right? Being into the movies and stuff. So it's about Alfredo, who's a little kid, and he goes to his little small town cinema, which is by the coast, right? It's a small cinema, it's only got the one screen and the rickety chairs and stuff. And this kid is always there, he's just watching movie after movie, right? And
is this the one when he goes in the projection room?
Yes,
yeah,
that's the one.
Yeah.
So that's it. So
sorry,
basically,
Karen,
and I think it's Salvatore. Sorry, so his name is Salvatore, but the guy who's the projectionist is called Alfredo, right? So he's who's this kid? He hates this kid. It's this old, young kind of clash, right? It's why is a 7-year-old here? What the hell? Get out of here and stuff. And he annoys the fuck out of him. And then he's like, oh shit, this guy's got a passion for cinema. So he invites him into the projectionist room and he tells him about how to be a projectionist, and this is what I have to do. And it's so funny that there's a scene where they're watching a movie, an Italian movie, and it's a really raunchy scene, and because there's a priest in the audience, they had to cut the scene and cut it off.
Of course there
stuff,
is.
as always. Exactly. Yeah, and it's a story about him growing up and falling in love with this girl, and again, it's a rhetoric on Italian culture as well, growing up and stuff, and it's so beautifully done. And again, it's something you watch with subtitles. It's such a beautiful feel-good movie, and I'm not going to spoil it. As any feel-good movies, it's got its up 100% and downs,
agree with that.
right?
Yeah.
And you learn from that, and obviously people die, people are born, stuff like that. And really don't want to spoil it because that's what it is. It's a movie you just have to watch.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's kind of it kind of gives you. When you're a kid, when you go to cinema, you always wish, I wish maybe someone in my family worked in a cinema, then I can go every day and watch this movie. And this kid kind of had that opportunity somehow. Can't remember how he got the money for it. I think he used to steal, or somehow he just, end up in the cinema and he watched this movie. And, it's like a story of even someone who's a director, telling their childhood story. I started off in the projection room. I learned about the cinemas, the reels and how to kind of load one into the other and stuff like that, show the movie. And it's just such a beautifully done movie. It's really, really good. So I watched that again and I was like, wow, I've never seen anything like this. You go in not even thinking. It's your friend recommending you and just saying, you know what, watch this movie. Yeah. I'm not going to say nothing, just watch it. And he did the same to me. And that's kind of been my thing. Sometimes I tell Gal, don't even just watch a movie. Don't
watch the trailer. Just go in blind.
Go in blind. And, that's the best way, because sometimes you hype it up, right? So yeah, and it's not as great. But this one, you watch it blind and it was just, beautiful, family-friendly movie. I think it's 89.
I was going to say it's 80s something, yeah.
Yeah, 1989, yeah. So fantastic movie. That's everyone.
I had to watch that through my college years doing
as
media
a course?
studies, yeah.
Oh, that's such a cool movie to do a case study on, right? Yeah, I can imagine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you know...
that's so cool.
It's not World Cinema Home, but no, actually, no, we'll come to it another time. I'm going way off topic here.
Yeah.
So that's your 3?
That's my number 3. Yep.
That was a good choice. My number 3 was The Raid, so we're going to go to number 2.
Number 2.
Big Gal, please don't clash with me on this one. I want to tell people my number 2.
I think I might, but I feel bad.
So what plane? So at the moment we've gone to Italy now. Yeah. So we're getting on the plane again?
We're going on the plane again, right. back to fucking Korea.
Oh, that's right.
Back
to Korea. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Right. I was contemplating what to put. This one, 3rd or 2, so it was a bit of battle, but I put this one number 2 because
did the battle give it away?
Yeah, this is probably. I know The Raid. I said it was, but it was the eye opener where I said, okay, I need to broaden myself. This is the one where I watched and I was like, oh yeah, this is wicked. This is Japanese, man. This is wicked. They're the best, man. And then years later, I found out it's Korean and it's Old Boy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. My number 1.
Oh, so sorry, dude.
Oh, wicked.
Oh, so sorry.
That's fine, dude. Carry on.
Awesome.
Again, like, what can I say? This is just a fucked up film. Like, you know, some I'm not going to spoil it, but it is like that. I don't see. Did the remake do that? Is it? Oh, okay, fine. Right. Like, I don't think anything that twist. I don't think I would never ever thought of that. Like now if I go watch
Have you seen it, Goku?
Absolutely.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm sure you've seen.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, that was in fact, that was the first movie that I watched.
Yeah, I mean, Korea has like a such a knack for doing the best revenge films ever.
Yep.
And this is the be all end all revenge film, as well as Bittersweet Life by far.
Yeah, that's good as well.
I went from my number 2, which we're talking obviously about, to this movie, which is obviously 2 different types of countries, and again, this is one that was hyped up, whatnot. And like Big Gal says, it's one that I don't think I can ever forget my first ever viewing of it, and that's why it's on my list. I mean, my number 2 is essentially the film that got me into cinema, but then this was like the one is like, I am continuing with this country's cinema, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain the premise of the movie?
So guy gets, I think everyone knows, but the guy,
we've kind of mentioned it before, but for anyone that hasn't watched that episode, we'll do it for the sake of that.
One guy, he gets kidnapped, right?
So he's a regular dude, isn't he?
A regular old dude gets kidnapped and he gets put away in a room for how many years?
15 years.
15 years, and throughout these.
So it's not like a prison, but it's like a normal. It looks like a hotel room, but he's locked away, isn't he?
He's locked away, and but he gets fed and stuff, and he has a TV, but it's just him in his room. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
and obviously time comes, and suddenly smoke comes out or something, and he's back.
That's right. Puts him to sleep, and he wakes up, doesn't he?
He wakes up, and he's back to normal day life.
Yeah,
after being 15 years. Put away. It's like, what the fuck? Like,
see, natural daylight for like 15 years, and
but obviously in that time he's been catching up, and he was like,
so the TV is essentially there to keep him up to date with what's going on in the world and stuff.
Yeah.
When he wakes up from being knocked out, he gets a phone call from the man who put them in jail or this place for 15 years and said, look, you've got 3 days to figure out why I've done this to you. If you don't do it, I will kill myself, and you will never know why you was locked away for 15 years. That's sort of the premise of it, isn't it? Really,
he sort of wakes up at the briefcase or something.
Yeah, he's in like a big human briefcase.
That shot's amazing.
Yeah,
and then he goes in to this restaurant next, is it, or something? And he's a live squid and shit like that.
That is a phenomenal scene. How he actually did that in 2 takes, eat a live octopus on camera, is just unreal.
Insane.
And he gets a bit friendly with the barmaid in there or something.
She's sort of like the female help. She sees that he's been in a situation. She sort of just like, I'll fuck it. I'll help you. You got 3 days to solve it. I'll give you a hand, sort of thing, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And then he gets a tip or something like that, and he got that amazing fight scene happens. That was like
that. See, that was another point where going what Goku was saying about how films are artistic in a way. Yeah. How this film does that, even though it's choreographed, it's done specifically so it didn't look like it was done, and how artistically done is just like this movie has a lot of artistic stuff like that.
Some of the shots,
some of the dream sequences where she's on the train with the rat, the ants, stuff like that. Yeah. It's very like, why is it in there? It's there for a good artistic purpose. Let's put it that way.
It makes sense. Yeah,
and this was going back to my Raid one.
Yeah.
I really think this film influenced that fight sequence. Like,
in the Raid.
100%. Yeah,
Without
100%.
doubt. Yeah, you can see
and,
it.
you can see it as well, innit?
Exactly.
Like, even when I saw that, I was like, oh man, I want to do a fight sequence like that.
Right.
And then Raid came, I was like, oh my god,
Damn
this
it.
is sick.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then turns of events and shit happens. I think
The whole movie, the rest of it is him trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But at the end, it's all about paying off that vengeance of why you locked me here, whatnot. And we won't go into the twist of it because I'd rather people.
It's one of those
go and watch it. I think we made the movie twist episode. That's what the mention we talked. If no one watched that episode, then obviously we're explaining it now to you. We won't tell you the ending because please, I implore you to watch it.
I would never. If no one's seen it, I would never ruin this because if someone's ruined it for you, they're arseholes.
Absolutely,
big time. Because that is
Cannot
one of those like twists you can't ruin to anyone.
You just
because
can't do it. You should be locked up.
Because because up until that point, why did he do that? Why? Oh my god!
That's
just
exactly it. It's exactly like you did it.
And I guarantee it, no one will ever see it coming.
No,
regardless,
100%,
never,
100%,
in a million years. Like that's like a proper. It's a U-turn within a U-turn.
Unless you're
like
super fucked up.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like. It was obviously going to be my number one. I've mentioned it so many times on this podcast now. As much as I'd love to pick a different Korean film as my number one, I essentially can't. It's just, this movie is my be-all end-all Korean film. It's fucked up as the ending is. You can't deny that. The main guy now, Cho Min-sik, is one of my favorite actors of all time now, along with Kang Ho-sung, who's not obviously in this movie, but he's again another amazing Korean actor that I followed since watching this, all because of Old Boy. Old Boy is the reason why I have found these other movies, why I have recommended these other movies, and appreciated you guys giving it a chance, giving Korean cinema a chance,
100%.
or other world cinema a chance.
So in a sense, this kind of started off for you.
So my number two was the first one I watched, which obviously we'll go into in a minute. But this was the one after that twist to say, do you know what? I'm going to look into other Korean stuff and whatnot, and I've just followed it ever since. And I've never got. I obviously watch other world cinema stuff. I'm always up for something from other country.
Yeah.
I've got to look up on Hollywood as well. That's just
one of
that one you mentioned sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
this one was really good and unique. There's a lot of other ones that samey-wamey and this you won't bother. But there's a handful of them are very unique and really good. Nicely done.
Yeah,
and that's one of them I mentioned.
Yeah,
definitely.
And again, I know I keep bigging up Korean cinema, but they just keep giving. It's the cinema. It's the cinema that keeps giving. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Whereas I love Hollywood cinema. I have done since I was a kid. I feel like it's not giving me as much as I used to like as a kid. Hence why I still like a lot of old nostalgic stuff that we keep bringing up on the podcast.
Yeah, sure.
But this cinema, like, I've got other stuff that I haven't watched yet because. I can't wait. New stuff every time. There's actually there's one I've watched on there which I want you to watch. I mentioned to you ages ago, but
what's it called?
Intimate Strangers. It's called.
Okay.
Ooh.
And the premise for that is brilliant. So I'll tell you what it is very quickly.
Yeah,
so it's a bunch of friends, right, who go around to someone's house for dinner. They've known each other since they were kids. The men, so they've all got their wives, their girlfriends, whatnot. And one of the wives says, let's do something different tonight. We always have a dinner together, right? Okay. Let's do something different. Let's give each other our phones to the next person. And if you get a message, a text or something, you have to read it out in front of everyone.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you
get a picture message, text message, anything that comes through, a notification on your social media, whatnot, you have to tell everyone what's happened, what's come through, whatnot, and shit hits the fan big time. I mean, that is a deadly game. But how easy is that premise? It's simply a dinner party. Pass your phone to the person around, or pass it to your partner. I can't remember like that, and just go from there.
That's all you need.
Is it funny?
No, mate. It's funny, but there are moments where it's funny, but it is a bit of a serious film. It's really good. But how easy is that premise? And Hollywood couldn't even come up with that shit.
God.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah. So that's why, Old Boys and Korean cinema, full stop, is my number one. I'm very surprised it's your number two, to be honest. But
I think it's like it was like I said, it's one of my early. I think the more so the ending. I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think it's, I thought about it and I said, you know what, this has
I
to
actually
be
asked to go.
iconic.
I watched it at work on a night shift one night, and
Yeah.
I actually asked to go home after seeing that
Did
ending.
you?
Yeah.
I was
Oh.
like sick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gives
man.
you shivers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
And-
really?
To do that to someone is even more so like
It's so bad.
It's so bad.
But there's a reason. Again,
Yeah.
there's a reason why, and that's what I love about this movie as well. It's like sometimes the build up isn't worth the
Yeah.
hype,
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
and it's like that actually makes sense why he does that.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah.
Exactly. It's amazing.
revenge is better than Christmas.
Yeah.
Good pick. Shame it was my number one, but good pick.
Sorry, dude.
Good.
Good pick, sir.
Nice.
It's your number two. Go. Cool.
Number 2. Okay, this is
What
a
plane-
movie...
were we on a plane?
Oh, you on a plane?
So we're in Korea in a moment. Are we going
Oh,
on the
in
plane?
Korea.
No. He was in Italy. Remember?
No. We've
Oh.
gone from Italy. We went
To
to Korea.
Korea.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
And now where are we going on
Now
the plane?
we're going on a plane. Yeah, and it's not going too far actually. It's going to Japan.
Are we connected?
Yeah. I can think of that one. Yeah,
That's
quick
not far.
journey, 2-hour flight. That's
Yep.
it. And we're in
It's not
Japan, right?
All
Exactly.
right.
We're in Tokyo, and hello everyone, Tokyo. So it's just, I had to just tell everyone hello. It's a movie. You guys have not seen this, and if you've seen this, right,
I don't know. Say what it is.
it's called Survive Style Plus 5.
No,
Okay, right.
Jesus Christ.
never even heard of it.
Crazy action Japanese movie. Oh, I say action. It's like action comedy,
How have we not heard this?
psychedelic.
What?
Here's the thing, right? So I had a mate, one of my best mates used to live 2 doors down from me,
You've
right?
probably sat down. I'm going to watch a film that these boys haven't seen and knock it off the park on one of the episodes.
Absolutely.
That's what you've
Do you
done.
know, because it was like, I always wanted to mention this movie since we're doing M.T.V.B. I was like waiting for...
Oh, really? You've been waiting for this
to come.
episode?
Yeah, it's like, when can I fit it in? And then you said, well, cinema. I'm like, boom. All right, that's it.
It's happening.
It's going to happen.
Finally happening.
Yeah, finally happening.
Survival what
And
cunt?
So it's called Survival
Did you say a survival what cunt?
Survival what
I
cunt?
know what you said. That's going on a t-shirt.
Yeah. Survival what cunt? It's funny because he's seen this movie, but
Have
his
I?
memory is so shit. He
Oh
can't
my God.
remember.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh,
It's
go on
called
then.
Survive
I'll let you
Style Plus. I think that's what it's called. Survive. It's got Survive Style Plus. Yeah, 5 plus. That's
It sounds like
right.
a TV channel, dude.
Right. You know
Sounds
what?
like a
Funny you say
porno.
that. It's like some Japanese porno.
Yeah.
You guys. So, okay, the cast, first of all, right, in this movie, it's got Sonny Chiba, right? If you know Sonny Chiba from the Kill Bill movie.
Kill Bill
and
movies,
stuff,
yeah.
right? And it's a Japanese movie, and it's crazy. It's one of those movies where it's 4 stories happening at the same time, and they all interlock, but it's like a crazy comedy. Like, just crazy. There's one guy he's a magician, and he's basically sleeping with this woman who makes adverts, and then somehow there's a guy who gets turned, like, he gets hypnotized by that magician, and now he's a chicken, and the family's got to deal with him. Seriously, Gauk, have you not remembered this movie?
I can't remember.
Because it was so crazy. And there's also a couple who are living together, and the guy keeps on killing the wife, but the wife keeps on coming back. And every time he dumps her body, he comes back to the house, she's alive again, and he just gives up. It sounds absolutely crazy.
The fuck?
I know,
The
it's
fuck?
absolutely.
And you've seen this?
insane.
I can't remember.
He can't remember.
Hold on, what's it called?
And so what happens is, like,
Survival
so
plus
basically-
5.
Yeah, survive.
Not survival cunt.
plus 5. Yeah. So in this movie, like, so how I came about to watch this movie. So I had a friend who randomly walked into CEX, and he saw something, and he was like, I'm just going to judge this by the cover, and he bought it. It was like £3 or whatever. And he's like, dude, you need to fucking watch this, right? And watched it together, and he was like, what the fuck is going on? At the same time, it was really, really fun, and like just an amazingly fun movie.
Okay.
But then someone appeared on the screen, right? And I was like, what the fuck, right? You're not going to believe who's in this movie.
Okay.
And he has a serious role. Vinnie Jones. Right? And you know Vinnie Jones,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Exactly. From Wimbledon FC
Yep.
to starring in all these like other movies. And he's
How old
in
is this movie?
film.
I'm
This
the
was- I
juggernaut,
think it was
bitch.
2002.
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
So this is like
2002.
pre-Snatch.
Yeah,
No, this is just after Snatch.
Just
so,
after
yeah.
Snatch. So, and I remember, like, again, they had special features on the movie because I was like, I had to watch that because, like, what the fuck is the movie about? And they're interviewing Vinnie Jones, and it's funny because he's a hitman in this movie, and he has like a Japanese translator, and it's the funniest thing ever because he's saying stuff in English, and the guy's translating in
I
Japanese.
was going to say, Vinnie
him,
Jones
like,
doing
yeah.
Japanese, fucking hell.
Exactly. So they interview on the interview. They asked him, and he said, "I just needed some exposure in Asia. Never given an opportunity to do a movie."
Yeah, fair
And
enough.
Apparently, which is
Get paid
great.
for it as well. Why not?
Exactly. And the great thing about places like Japan and China, they look for random people. Like for us, it's just Vinnie Jones, right? And it just doesn't make sense. But to them, he's like a hero for some reason.
Sure.
Like, you know, he's like a big, you know, like he's a huge, like they've seen Snatch clearly, and you know, Lock, Stock as well, and they're like, okay, you know, we need
Got
to
in
know
60
that.
seconds.
Got in 60 seconds, exactly. Yeah, he's in that.
He's in that.
Yeah,
You don't remember that movie?
I remember.
He doesn't talk in
He
that
doesn't
movie.
talk in that movie. Yeah, he's silent in that movie.
Oh, what's he called in
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
I just
Right?
remember him in Juggernaut. I mean, an X-Men. I'm the Juggernaut. Bitch.
Fuck, what is he called? He goes, is it
Yes,
Sphinx?
yes,
Is it Sphinx? Something like that, isn't it?
Yeah,
in, in God in 60.
Yeah, he's got like a very kind of like
it's
criminally.
Oh,
kind of
no, and
mind.
Swordfish. You ever seen Swordfish?
Yeah, you
Oh, I
Swordfish.
love Swordfish.
Damn,
Swordfish
he's
is
in
amazing.
that?
But yeah, he's in that as well.
Jesus Christ.
That's one of Halle Berry, isn't he? As well. Yeah.
Shit.
Great movie. Yeah.
I know what you're thinking. Would that bad man stick that up my arse?
Oh yeah.
You look at me again, mate, and you'll be begging me for this bullet. Oh, I can't do a Vinnie Jones impression, sorry. Anyway,
That was good. That was
Swordfish
yeah,
is
yeah.
damn good movie. I think it's underrated.
Absolutely.
Underrated Hugh Jackman movie, big time.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, but
Sorry,
that
Survival
movie,
Cunt.
Yeah, Survival Cunt. Yeah, so please watch Survival.
So
No,
it's
it's
number
fine.
two. It's number two because Vinnie Jones has gone to Asia. Is that what you're saying?
do you know what? Apart from that, right, it's like it's all around a good movie, but for Vinnie Jones to be in that movie, it just made sense, like for him to be in that.
It just made
you know?
sense for you to put it in.
It's blatantly what that is, isn't
I'm
it?
joking, dude.
It's
I'm
a
joking.
great movie.
I
I'm gonna
remember seeing
have
that,
it
though.
on. Yeah, I think I brought it on DVD. But Anne, you need to watch it. Like I think
Yeah,
you'd
I'll
appreciate
give it
this
a go.
movie, and
Okay.
I'll give you the name of it and watch it. It's really
No,
cool.
we got it.
And
Have we got it?
Yeah,
Survival Cunt.
Survival Cunt.
No, the name is saying what
No, have you got the movie?
Oh no.
I think Gaz just talking about John.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about.
yeah. So yeah, that's my number two, and it's definitely worth the
Nice.
recommendation.
choice. Good
Yeah.
choice.
So my number two, we're not actually getting on the plane. We're
staying in Japan.
We're in a bus. We're getting on a bus, and then there's a little ferry. So we're going to go to a remote island just outside of Japan.
All right, we're clashing.
Because mine is
Yeah.
Battle Royale.
Yes! It's my number one.
It's your number one?
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
we'll go into this.
Well
Is
done,
yours
man.
number one?
No.
No. Right, okay.
Okay, good choice,
I'm
Anne.
just double checking.
So yeah, this is simply this is the movie that got me into world cinema. So I used to have a job years and years ago where I would be on nights constantly, and this was back when you used to have portable DVD players. Do you remember that little thing? You used
Remember
to
that?
have a
The
little
little flip
LCD.
screen.
That's it. Yeah, used to have that. And there was a mate of
so
mine
cool.
or a colleague of mine who was heavily into like. He's a massive fan of Japan, loves the anime, loves the movies, everything. And he was like, "Have you got nothing to watch? Watch this." And being my first world cinema movie, of course, I'm ignorant. Don't do subtitles. No, I'm not going to like this. Oh, it's artsy fartsy. Oh, it's this, it's that. It's that. Very ignorant. He says, "No, trust me." Didn't tell me anything about the movie. Just said, "Watch it."
Yeah.
Simply watch it. And obviously, Goku, you know Battle Royale. Obviously,
Oh, yeah.
Miguel, you do as well.
Yeah.
It does have a bit of a slow build up.
Yeah.
There's a
Sure.
little bit of the game at the beginning, and then after that, it's a very slow build up to the actual game.
Yeah.
But that scene where those kids go, sorry. Let me stop there for a sec. Let's explain what the movie's about. yeah.
All right.
So it's to do with the Battle Royal Act, isn't it? So
Yeah.
basically, kids in Japan have gone
So
mental, haven't
yeah.
they?
Yes.
So
That they're
bad.
beating up their parents and whatnot.
Yeah.
That parents have decided to
Mental.
fight back and created the Battle Royal game. Is it?
How
Is that
fucking
right?
messed up is that? Yeah.
Like your own parents
Yeah.
doing that.
So
No, I don't-
is
it
it
the
once a
parents or the
year?
government? I swear it's the government.
Something like that. Well, the
Something.
parents have fought up for it to
Yeah.
go. Yeah, it is through the government. You're right.
Yeah.
So is it once a year or something like that? I
think
can't
so.
remember.
Once every year.
The Japanese government will pick a class and they will send them to this remote island, and essentially they have to play a game where I think there's like 42 students, whatnot.
Yep.
They all have to kill one another.
Yep.
I think the tagline for the movie is "Could you kill your best friend?" or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they have to do this in a certain amount of days, and then there's a certain amount of areas you can't go because it's a danger zone, whatnot, rah, rah.
Yeah.
Now you can see why all these games have got popular with it, like
Right.
PUBG and
Fortnite.
and whatnot.
Yeah. Whoa, yeah.
So that's the premise of it. So that scene, I'm sorry. So let's go back to the scene. I was like, wow. When the kids, they get gassed on they think they're
bus.
going on a school trip, don't they, and whatnot, and they get gassed. And then they wake up and they've all got collars around their neck.
Yes.
Every single one of them, you're like, that's like a locator or something. Your first initial think that's a locator.
Yeah.
And then the teacher comes in, he says, right, listen to this video. It's going to explain the rules of the game. And obviously being kids, they don't know what's going on. They're like, I want answers, rah, rah, rah. And then she says, you know what, fuck you. So he clicks on his little remote, doesn't he? And then the timer on the neck collar goes, doesn't it? And it's like, dee, dee, dee. And it's like, oh shit, what's going to happen? And when that kid's neck blows up, good fucking God,
That's
I was hooked.
You're like, oh shit.
I was like,
Oh
wow,
my God.
this is a Japanese movie? It's like, this is incredible. This is a movie from another country.
Seeing a kid's head.
That's what got me into cinema, seeing the kid's head blow up. No, but just the movie alone is
but you
such
know
a
what
great
you're in
idea,
for from that point, though, isn't
From
it?
there on,
Even like the stories of these kids being violent was like, okay, this is weird.
Exactly.
The government getting involved, and then to that point, we're like, okay, that set the tone for the whole film.
Right.
Like, okay, you know what's going to
happen.
happen.
And the thing is, though, even though there's 40 odd students, you feel for every single one of them, and they all have their own different, normal high school personality students. You know, there's the boffins, there's your rebels, and your whatnot. Remember boffin, that word? You remember boffin?
Yeah, boffins.
And then there's a couple of exchange students who are older, aren't they? They're like two random older guys, whatnot.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
weren't they the main ones? No, they weren't. The bad guy ones.
One of them was. Yeah. One of them was good. One was bad, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just go cool. Why is it your number one? It's my number two.
That's a good question, man. Like, it's honestly, I think it's just that, the idea that these kids are on an island, right? And it's like they're fighting for each other's their own lives. And they're doing it in a way
So what would you do in that situation,
exactly.
isn't it?
Yeah, because at the time watching it. Exactly, yeah. You look for the
yeah, but not if you would have equipped a frying pan.
Exactly. So what was the concept of the weapons? Did they find weapons?
So the weapons were basically, they were given a bag when they go out to this island. Every bag is randomized, isn't it? So it would have their essentials like food, drink, whatnot, and it would have a weapon. Yeah. Some could be a crossbow, some could be a baseball bat, one could be a gun, one could be ninja knives.
Freaky girl got Uzi or something, innit? Like,
she got she had a stun gun and she gets the Uzi off another girl, doesn't she?
Because she stuns her and gets the Uzi off her. It's a lot. It is very PUBG when you think about it, right? It's
and how has this movie spawned all these battle royale games now that are so popular?
Absolutely.
20 odd years later or whatnot.
That's it. So the guy who made initially, just going off really quickly, the guy who put on PUBG, the guy who made that, he basically just said it was Battle Royale that made me think of this idea, and he went to Korea and they endorsed it. Next thing you know, Fortnite came out, and that's how it all started. Yeah. It's basically from that. So it's because of this movie.
There you go.
There you go. That's where the spot came for these kind of like the whole Fortnite craze that you guys know about. So it's basically that. And I think that's what's unique about it, because they're all stuck on an island and they're all fighting for each other's lives. And, at the time when I watched it, I think I was still in school, well, to the end of it. Like,
I bet you're like, what if my class gets sent
exactly.
over there? Who would I
Well, that's exactly it, yeah. I think we all thought the same. Well, thinking, what would happen if I was with my friends and, we had to kill each other and to survive? This is basically it. And it was just so, I don't know, in the weirdest of ways. It was not exciting is the word, but it was just like crazy. It's just, I just can't wait to see how it plays out.
It's a unique concept that only like a world cinema will come up with that.
Thank you.
Right? Like, I don't think Hollywood would come up with that sort of.
No. America,
even though they tried to with The Condemned.
Yes,
with Steve
Stone
Austin.
Cold.
and
who else is in it?
Vinnie Jones.
No,
he's in everything.
Vinnie Jones is in Condemned as well. He plays the bad guy in that as well.
He plays the bad guy. Vinnie. He gets around.
But it was so weird because after I watched that movie, I literally gave it back to that guy, and I was my words were "Give me more."
Absolutely.
And that's where the Japanese horrors were let me borrowed, and then I was working in Blockbuster at the time, and then I found Old Boy come here, so that's where Old Boy came into it and followed it from there.
Kind of influenced it, right?
Absolutely, and I still love Battle Royale to this day. It's just. I bought so many different editions of that fucking movie.
The recent
4K box set that was done by Arrow is amazing, and the fact that they finally have Battle Royale 2 on Blu-ray, and it's a director's cut as well, which I've never seen. I cannot wait to watch that. It's obviously not as good as number one, but it's still. I love Battle Royale. It's
brilliant.
It's such a fun concept.
Sorry, Big Joe. How the movie. Knows that you're in for a ride and keeps you updated. So when a child dies, it'll be like such and such died, 42 left to go, 50, 37 left to go, or whatever.
Almost like a news,
it's like a news report, an update. It's
like you're watching live, like a live game.
Yeah,
it's like that. Yeah,
and that scene. Do you remember the lighthouse scene?
Oh my goodness!
How fucked up is that? Is that part when the group of girls
are stuck in the lighthouse?
They're stuck in the lighthouse with the main guy. He got beaten up and they bring him back, but one of them hates him. So she poisons his food, but one of the girls eats it instead.
Oh, that's
so everyone's
right,
like,
yes.
"Oh, you're trying to kill me!" And then all of a
Yeah,
sudden, these group of girls have
wow.
literally killed one another in space of 10 seconds. It's crazy how everyone's like, "Oh, you're my best friend. I love you." To the next minute, it's such a good scene, but that's how it is though. Especially when it's a game, the point is to kill everyone.
Yeah,
and
to survive.
I implore everyone, if you've never seen it, heard of it, it's on Amazon Prime at the moment. Watch it.
Absolutely. Coming off this whole with the Squid Games phenomenon that's happening right now, people are.
I guarantee people are getting on that now.
Absolutely, that's it. Because
Squid Games has taken that as definite.
Right, a whole different take on it.
Yes,
the idea
sorry,
is
that's what I was looking at.
Yeah, this is how humans would react with each other, and that's how when put in that kind of dilemma, that's how they'd react. They would kind of kill each other, and it's kind of regardless of, you hear the guy's stories like, oh, I haven't got much money and all this and that. Same thing happens in Battle Royale. There's a sob story, and then it's when it comes to it, it's like, oh, do I really kill him? And then next thing you know,
and that's the thing with Battle Royale, you're not playing for money. You're just playing to survive.
To survive. There's no money. It's about just.
Imagine us three on a Battle Royale. Who would you kill first?
If there was three of us,
would you kill us?
Well, no, I know for a fact you two would gang up on me because I'm the token white guy at the moment.
You know what, guys?
And there's enough of me so you could eat me to survive for the next few days and whatnot. And then towards the end, I reckon Goku would either poison you or slit you in your sleep.
Give me medicine, Gal. I've got some medicine.
He'd be like, "Here, take this. If you got migraine, take this here," and that'll be his little. That's the poison thing he got in his bag.
Yeah.
Damn, that's good.
So I'm the only one that does.
If it was the group of us, Nash will go first. I reckon John would take him out.
No, straight away. You have to kill your. No, John would be like, "This is the game. You have to kill your friends."
Bang.
Yeah.
As soon as they said that,
this is how you load it. Bang. Nash should be the first to go, and that's when it comes up on the screen. Nash died. 10 left to go.
2 minutes of
What a
the movie.
dickhead. He's such a loser. So, Goku, is there anything else you want to put on your number one there?
That is, I think that's pretty much it.
I'm sorry I nicked yours.
I'm so happy you mentioned it. I knew it was coming. Is it your number one as well, Anne?
My number two. My number
Okay.
one was Old Boy. So
Right, fantastic.
we've only got one left. Big Gal.
Yeah, Big Gal.
Okay. It might not be as
number
good.
one.
It might not be as good as Battle Royale, but this is my first introduction to not Korean. Sorry, we're on a plane.
Oh, we're on a plane. Yes, we're on a plane.
We're going back to Korea.
We're going to swim
Boring
back
journey.
from the
You can
island.
swim
We're going
back.
to swim back.
Yeah, because we're on the random island off the coast of Japan, so you're going to swim to
all the way to
get there. Okay.
Oh my god, it's quite a
And then when I get off the, on the beach,
That's a long fucking swim.
it's a long swim.
But anyway,
3 days swim.
this one is it's obviously a Korean film, but this is my first sort of, what kind of film is it? So it's called I Saw the Devil.
Yeah.
Good choice.
It's sort of
Thriller.
thriller,
definitely a thriller.
Yeah, and you don't mean a big.
Thriller cop drama.
Yes.
I would go with that.
Did you say a bit of what's it, psychotic as well?
Psychological.
Psychological,
yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. So anyway, thriller, and
Great
the
movie.
premises is it's based. No, sorry, not based. Sorry, it's about a killer. He's a cunt, isn't it? He's
Flat out.
Yeah,
Flat out cunt.
he brutally kills people
With the long hair.
Yeah, and the beginning shot of that car where the woman's
With the
trapped
snow?
in, it's amazing. And then
Absolutely
he comes,
amazing.
stalking in his little van, and
Yeah.
he drives past, and then obviously she's broken down. He's on the phone to her husband and stuff.
Yeah.
And he comes, "Oh, did you need a hand on that?" And something or something.
The
like
typical what a serial killer would do.
that.
To
And then
home on the prey.
She refuses
Exactly.
him, I believe, right?
Oh yeah, she
yes,
flat out
She refuses him, but he
he's persistent, isn't he?
And then all this happens while the husband's on the phone.
Yeah.
And then she gets brutally killed, isn't it?
The way she dies, that where the camera goes round the
Some of the
car.
kills in that.
car.
Yeah.
Well, then she gets killed, and then
And can we just say that the bad guy is Old Boy? It's the first time he's played a bad guy.
Yeah.
It's the same guy.
Yeah.
He's the same guy.
Cho Min Sik.
Oh,
And
nice.
thing okay, and what it is it's about the guy on the phone, the husband. He tracks this guy down, and what he does to him, basically. So obviously, this guy has a thirst to.
So let's sorry.
Oh, sorry, I jumped the gun.
Because you have to mention that the main guy is the copper. He's a cop, isn't he?
Oh, he's a cop as
so
well. Yeah.
the woman that died at the beginning was his wife.
Yeah.
And that's the rest of, like Gaz says, the rest of the movie, he's trying to find out who the killer is. And
but he finds her out, find him out.
Yeah, that's where you carry on going.
Yeah, and he finds out who it is. And obviously, this is a killer. He's a serial killer, and he's got thirst for killing.
Yeah.
He just goes out killing. And what essentially happens is every time he goes for the kill, this is where it's unique.
So
right?
there's
this tracks. Oh, sorry,
That's right,
I the gun again. Sorry. So he tracks him down, and he's put a tracking device.
Yeah,
on the bad guy. Yeah, so he makes him swallow it.
Yeah, and swallow it, and so he knows where he's going and stuff.
Yeah.
So essentially, he's following him.
Yeah. So he stops his murders before he does them.
Yeah. So because he enjoys killing people, so just as he's about to kill, he stops him and beats the shit out of him.
And then
he runs off.
Would you essentially say it's a revenge film as well?
Yeah. I would say so. Yeah,
because he's going. Because he's going to kill him, right?
So. I think, and each time it's funny because the guy's just getting the killer's just getting, what the fuck's doing this, and
why does it keep coming out?
It's so funny, like it's ridiculous.
But it's not meant to be funny. Though. That's the thing.
This is what I'm saying. I find it funny. It's so hilarious the way he reacts, and he's like infuriated. He's like, who the fuck's doing this, man? Like and all that, and then essentially he keeps going. And then he figures out that he's got a tracking device. That's why he's doing this.
Yeah, shits it out.
Yeah. And then runs into all these other...
He does.
There's a house bit. I can't remember that bit.
Oh, that weird bit with the lady in it.
Yeah, the ladies in there.
And they're having sex.
Yeah.
That's some random scene.
It's like his mates or something, but he kills them? I can't remember.
Yeah.
But essentially, the police officer catches up again, and then that ending where... he sets him up. So when he killed his wife, he took her to his place where he kills everyone, and he finds the ring there. And then obviously I think he's going to kill him, but the way he sets him up to get him killed is I can't remember. Is it his family that come in for him?
I don't remember. It's been a while since I watched it.
He sets him up so if whoever opens the door.
Right.
But he dies, He'll finally die, won't he?
He'll finally die. So and then I think his son and his dad comes in or something. I can't remember.
Sure.
But I know I haven't done justice explaining it as much, but it's one of those films where like it's the killing is so like brutal, and in some way it's
a different way to toy with a serial killer, isn't it? Yeah.
He kind of messes him up and he's like he's such a good actor in it as well. Like
is it Lee Bong-un Ho?
That's the main.
That's the main guy. Yeah, he was in Squid Games. He's the man with the black mask. And obviously you got Old Boy. So when this movie was announced, and my friends, obviously Tim told me about it, so you have to understand that these two in Korea are essentially Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. They're like the biggest actors in Korea. And to finally have a film together... It was like, what's going on here? This is going to be big, and it paid off in my opinion. Yeah. It's just damn good movie.
They're both so good on the show in the film.
Wow,
and I just every time he toys with it, the way he messes him up as well. Like
I just always like, what did you keep
and when he shits it out on the toilets as well, that is some funny incident. It's really like it's not funny, but it's funny. Like I can't explain it, but
then I rewatched the Wailing the other day.
You watch it again.
And there's moments where that has funny scenes. It's a horror film, but it has a lot of funny scenes in it.
The car sex scene.
Very odd. Yeah, it's just
like banging.
It's not just that. It's because the main guy in that is like a fat copper, and
he's a bit of a dumbass, isn't he?
Yeah, some of his reactions, like there's a part where there's a woman who's nearly got burnt alive. He keeps trying to beat him up, and he's like, "Get her off me!"
It's when he gets scared as well. He's always like tripping.
Yeah, it's like I'm not sure if it lost its tone in that movie when it does that. I mean, it's still a cracking film to this day. Don't get me wrong, but there's parts where I love how Korea's like. It's meant to be this, but we're going to throw in moments of this in any way.
And I think it's great if they do that. Yeah, man. It just makes it
so unique.
More character. It has more character. I think it's just like the reaction just makes it more. Have effect. I think so.
Definitely, no other cinema industry can do it.
Again, like it's so. It's still a wicked film. I saw The Devil. It's like I got you to watch that back to back with The Chaser.
With The Chaser,
I still think
The Chaser's so good.
Such a good.
And movie. It's a killer film sort of thing, like thriller. But If I had to choose, I'll say I Saw the Devil. Cause
it's weird because The Chaser is essentially the same movie in a way, but it's with a pimp instead of a copper.
That's it,
That's what throws me off with that movie. It's
Even though
I always think he's a copper. He's not. He's just this woman's pimp.
Yeah.
It's like,
the one scene always cracks me up because the police scene in that. It's when like he's all captured
station.
and and then they're all like beating him up or something. There's one guy in a vest. He's just like, what the hell are you doing?
White t-shirt.
Like, what?
You're just standing on the top.
He's on the shirt. He's just shouting away. Oh, it's random. But anyway, So you watched both of them together. And what did you think? It was great.
Absolutely. I was.
It's one of your first. My recommendations to you.
I think so. After Old Boy, funnily enough, this was the next Korean movie that I've seen. So it was. So it must have been Vigal, whatever. It was amazing because you were saying like, look, and
because I literally was like, oh, you like Old Boy? Try this one out. Now let's watch Old Boy be a bad guy.
The actual Old Boy.
But technically, he was a bad guy in Lady Vengeance as well. But that was after that movie. Anyway,
amazing. Honestly, yeah. But as so that's interesting because watching that, not knowing about how good Korean movies is. So my take on it was like, whoa, like I understand the dark humor from that as well. He's like, whoa, again. And it's got a lot of like, even the cinematography, it's got that kind of the blood on the snow, the shots in it.
Their shots are the best, man. Like,
I think I said it in a similar,
Parasite. They go like, even they will show one shot and it will like explain, okay, this is the house. That's it. It's so like it's
properly well done.
They document that scene so well. Like it's in everything in that scene is just it's amazing.
It's absolutely amazing. So you're saying earlier about the bit where they're spinning around the car where she's getting killed. Like it's little things like that. It's just it stands out. It really does.
And this is the thing is like
proper.
You don't notice it the first time you watch it. When you go back and watch it again, it's like, oh shit, that was a one take shot.
Exactly.
But the car went around the castle.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Such a good choice.
I might need to watch that again.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to watch Battle Royale again.
I want to watch The Raid again, man. Jesus Christ. We talked about that earlier on. I feel like I want to part where I can breathe again.
Man.
So good, man. Make sure you want to watch
this episode is a long time coming, by the way.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's just,
even though we did
it's just tough with like doing the top 5 because there's so many more I want to mention. But again, it would just be all Korean films in the day. But we will do a top 5 Korean film. I just think it's fair that we try and get a bit of everything in there. I know Big Guy, you had a couple more from Korea, but at the end of the day, you love what you love. It's your list. We don't scrutinise here on the M.T.V.B. at the end of the day. So, but there's a few good recommendations on there as well. You're number 2. I like Vinnie Jones and whatever. I'll give it a go.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, man.
Good shout.
A lot of ones I want to go back and watch. I would say, is there any honorable mentions? But we could go on forever with that.
Absolutely.
I reckon we just mentioned all in the previous episodes.
Yeah, exactly. So, but if we ever come up with more, we should do like a part 2 or something.
Yeah, definitely.
We have I think we will.
This is going to ever change. This list is going to ever change.
Definitely.
Yeah, it will keep going. And
because now I'm thinking I should have put a Battle Royale in it now.
Yeah.
Oh well.
It don't matter. We'll do a part 2.
Yeah, part 2.
We'll do a part 2. I'm sure John would love to. He does love his world cinema.
Yeah, he does. His would be all Korean.
It's fucking brilliant.
Korean, the best.
Yeah.
Better than anyone else. So we'll end it there, guys. And guys, if you enjoyed what you listened to here on the M.T.V.B. Podcast, follow us on Facebook at the M.T.V.B. Podcast, or on Instagram at M.T.V.B. Podcast, on TikTok at M.T.V.B. Podcast 197, or on Twitter at M.T.V.B. Podcast 1. That's some of the M.T.V.B. Podcast mentions there. So until then, I'm your host Anthony, along with
Grey Fox, Gal,
and Goku.
And we are signing off, guys. Goodbye.
Bye.